Are we doing it live?
I think so.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming to watch me bake. I really have to work on some sort of intro. I can rip off Dantics. Hey, it's time for the only cooking show that has Crystal for a host. Does that work? What's up, guys? We're making pumpkin roll tonight. Amanda, I did see you in the chat asking about preheating. Don't worry. Anything you need to do ahead of time, I will definitely let you know. Let's go ahead and just do it now. We're going to turn the oven on to 350. But I always make sure you have enough time. If nothing's going to go in the oven right when we show up and start doing things. So the oven will have time to preheat while we're mixing ingredients. So don't sweat it. Turn your oven to 350. What is up? What is up? Thanks again, everybody, for joining. If you haven't already, go to Facebook and join the group Getting Baked with Crystal. Posting all kinds of updates, recipes. You can find out what we're making each week. Probably going to do some polls to see what you guys want us to make in future weeks and kind of plan things out and see what people are going to want to bake. Amanda had the great idea for posting the recipes so that you guys can bake along with us, which is awesome. How many of you are actually going to be making this with us tonight? Post in the chat if you're making it. Or if you're making something else, let me know what you're making. Maybe you don't like pumpkin roll. Maybe you think it's too hard. It's really not. This is an easy one. It's a little bit messy, but it's pretty easy to make, pretty quick to make. We should be done by 8 o'clock at the latest, maybe even before then, depending on how much banter we have in between. But yeah, it's a pretty easy recipe. Let's see what's going on. Hey, everybody. It's all just highs in the chat. It's 9 p.m. 9 p.m. might be a little late to start baking for some people. I like to bake late at night. My favorite time to start is about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. If I'm awake enough, it's relaxing. That's why this is a little difficult for me because I'm on and I have to pay attention to make sure you guys know what's happening. Usually when I bake by myself, I just kind of get in the zone and tune out everything else. Oh, Uncle Yukon, you can make stuff. I saw you talking about just opening up cupcakes. You can make cupcakes. It's easy. What's up, Sam, Amanda, Charlotte, Uncle Yukon, Liz, Cyber Husky, Miss Christy? We got all the regulars here. If you're new here, what's up? I'm Crystal. I like to bake things. I'm going to do it on camera. So you guys can bake along with me if you want. If you need to follow along with did we post the recipe or just the ingredients?
Just the ingredients.
I think we just posted the ingredients on Getting Baked with Crystal on Facebook. You can find the whole ingredients list there. Everything else, you got to watch the show and follow along. I'm not giving away all the secrets. You got to come hang out. Fry them in the frying pan in the oven.
What are we making today?
We are making pumpkin roll today. Did you not watch the show, Dan?
I don't know.
I said it like 3 times. So we're going to do something a little bit different. The recipe actually has you making it in the order of making the bread and then making the frosting. But what I find is that the frosting, when you mix it, tends to get warm and kind of liquidy. So we're going to start with the frosting so that we have time to stick it in the fridge. It probably will not stay in the fridge the whole time while we're making the bread part of it, but that way we can make sure that it's firm enough. If your frosting is too warm and liquidy, when you roll the bread, it's just going to squish out the sides and be really messy. If it's too thick and cold, it's not going to spread and it's just going to tear up your bread. So there's kind of a happy medium there. We'll see how it goes. And you guys, check how yours feels and looks once you mix it. If it seems really liquidy, pop it in the fridge for a few minutes. So that's probably what I'm going to have to do. We'll see how it goes. So for the frosting, we are going to use powdered sugar, cream cheese, butter, and vanilla. We're using vanilla this time, not accidentally almond extract. So we only need a half a stick of butter. I find that using a bread knife that's serrated helps to cut the butter just right in the stick like this. And if you didn't catch the post on Facebook earlier today, your butter should be about room temperature. I usually take it out about an hour, depending on the weather, about an hour before I start baking. That way it has time to come down to room temperature. If you haven't done that, I also posted a trick where you can put boiling water in a glass and put the glass over your stick of butter and leave it there a few minutes. That should help warm it up for you. You don't want it melted. Some recipes you do, not this one, not most recipes actually. You just want it room temperature so it's soft and squishy. If it's too cold, when you throw it in your mixer, it's just gonna be lumpy. And regarding the mixer, if you don't have a stand mixer, no worries. Hand mixer works just as well. You could do it by hand if you want, but that might be a lot of work. I don't know if I'd advise that, but hey, if you've got a lot of upper arm strength, go for it. So we've got half a stick of butter and 6 ounces of cream cheese. I usually just get the box of cream cheese and cut off 2 ounces. If you've got bagels or pretzels. Do you guys like warm pretzels? I like to warm up the cream cheese. That's my favorite topping for warm pretzels. Dan thinks it's disgusting. I love warm cream cheese for a warm pretzel. Hey, what you doing back there?
I love watching you go.
Yeah?
I am not a cream cheese warm anything
Oh,
fan.
it's so good. I used to work at the mall, and the store I worked in was right next door to one of the pretzel shops, so you could smell it all day long at work. And then we made friends with them so we could get some free pretzels. And I ate a lot of pretzels.
I was at Aldi today.
Were you? How was
And it was fun. Well, first of all, I'm one of those Aldi people now.
that? Since last week?
I love it. And I saw pretzels that were only circles for... There was no Ghostbuster in it. It was just a circle, so you could like dip them in stuff in wreaths and stuff like that, you know.
Huh. You got some baking plans for that?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I passed them up. I think I just sent you a picture of them, and that was it. Hello, everybody.
Phil Brooks wants to know if you're helping. Not usually. I don't usually allow Dan to help. It's kind of catastrophic.
I am helping by staying out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the chat. Nice hair. Do you guys love it?
Yeah.
Look at this.
What's up with your hair?
So beautiful. I was casted as George Washington in a World War III silver. He had wooden teeth and he looked like me.
What time period do you think George Washington existed in?
I was gonna say World War I, but I think it's earlier than that. Cause okay, hold on.
little bit.
There was definitely boats. Cause he's on
Yeah.
a boat in one of them.
Over what river do you know?
And there was a flag.
What-
Probably it was just one because it was like everything was closer together.
He
So
crosses it. There's a famous painting.
the Delaware.
There you go. Good job. Nice. You watched Antics.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going for that George Washington thing. What did I do? Did I never tell a lie, or am I on the dime? Yeah. I got that look. All right.
For some reason, Dan wanted his hair in hot rollers, but did not understand how curly hot rollers actually make your hair.
I wanted my hair exactly the way it looks right now.
Yeah, that's the look you were going
Yeah,
for.
I
huh?
wanted it. I didn't want to comb it, and I wanted it all out of my face. I just wanted it out of my face. And you had your curling iron there, and I was like, you should like curl it up. And then you said my hair was too fine, but we could get hot rollers. And I said, we don't own hot rollers, and we did. And then I did. Yeah, I'm bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored.
Then you did.
Then
Let's
I
see
did.
what else is going on.
Yeah, Jess thinks I look like... I sent her pictures earlier. She thinks I look like Yoshi.
A little bit.
I'm a little bit of Yoshi. In the picture that I sent her, I look like Yoshi.
Yep, that's what she said here.
Grilled cheese with cream
grilled
cheese.
cheese with cream
I would
cheese.
take a bite, but I don't think so.
I like warm cream cheese. I'd be willing to try it. I feel like it would need other cheeses in there too. I don't know if I'd do just cream cheese. Uncle Yukon's got you. Revolutionary War.
I got
Remember
it.
that whole revolution?
That's right. Do you have a part in Hamilton? It would be Damilton. Alexander Damilton. Damilton.
You're shaking out your curls.
Oh.
Step back from the food and shake your head.
No, because then they're going to come out.
No, shake your curls out. That'd be great.
But that's my moneymaker.
Shake your moneymaker, Dan.
Maybe at the end of the night, if you're good, I'll shake out my curls.
Okay. Dora says, well, the whole chat just left me. Never heard of a pumpkin roll. I'll have to see what this is all about. It's really, really
It is really good.
I'm not a fan of pumpkin. I don't eat pumpkin pie. I'm not down for pumpkin spice latte, which, as I understand, is not actually pumpkin flavored. It's just flavored like the seasonings that go into pumpkin things, like ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, those kinds of things, I guess. Not a fan of any of that. I don't make pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. I make pumpkin roll because it's a good balance with the frosting. It's almost like a carrot cake, and the frosting balances out the flavor of the pumpkin in the roll. Plus, the pumpkin in the roll is not too strong, so it's really good. I like it. You can also do this with other things. I did it one time with, it was like a banana bread with the cream cheese frosting. You can do it with chocolate cake and chocolate frosting, or vanilla frosting, or strawberry frosting. You can put fruit inside of it. That would be good if we did chocolate with the strawberry frosting and strawberries laid in it. That'd be really good.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Now I'm coming up with ideas for next time.
Yeah. How many of you guys saw the cake conclusion from last week's?
Oh yeah, last week's cake that we've already almost eaten all of. This show's gonna make me fat.
If you haven't, you can go to the end of Dantics from last week's episode to see it. But I'll tell you what, that was amazing. We've eaten it every night this week. Can you tell? We've had it every night this week, and it came out really, really, really good. Really good.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It was a lot of work. I don't feel like a layer cake is something. You are moving around behind me. I don't feel like a layer cake is something necessarily for beginners, because I've been baking for decades, and getting those layers together, I don't do it often, but getting those layers to stay together and not slide off, it's tricky. It's really tricky.
All right,
Cyber Husky says you should French braid. That's how she keeps her hair out of her face without pulling it in a ponytail. His hair's too fine. It just slides right out of a braid. It doesn't work.
Are we holding you from doing the next steps since everybody's at home like waiting?
It's 10 after. We're good. We're good on time.
Okay.
Don't you worry about me. All right, so those of you who are baking at home, I'd like to start with just the butter and cream cheese in the mixer to get it blended together well before I add anything else to it, so you don't get chunks of butter or cream cheese in it. Again, don't have to use a stand mixer. If you have a hand mixer, that works fine. If you do have a stand mixer, you should be using your paddle-y thingy, not the whisk for this part. There's not a whole lot of butter and cream cheese, so at least for me with this mixer, it tends to kind of clump up on the sides, so if it does that, I'll scrape it with the rubber spatula. Let's see what's going on. Brittany asked if I bake for a living. I do not. Right now, I'm just a receptionist, kind of chilling. I had kind of a stressful job before that, so I'm just kind of chilling in this, like, just answering phones, typing letters job, but this is what I like to do for fun. I've done it since I was about 14 is when I first started baking, and just because I like snacks, and I didn't want to have to buy pre-made snacks. I like to make my own snacks and try new things. It didn't really go up on the sides too much. I am going to stir it just to make sure it's well blended. I think there is some cream cheese kind of on the bottom. But basically you just want this to be an even consistency and color, because the butter and the cream cheese are two different colors. Once it looks like it's all one color, then you're good. Then it's blended well enough. And to that we are going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Get it open. Alright, Bunny Cat's having a baking party, making a bunch of stuff for the farmer's market tomorrow. That's awesome. I wish I could take stuff to a farmer's market and sell it. California's pretty strict on regulations for food handling and stuff, and you have to pay a whole lot out here to get a booth at the farmer's market. So it's something I've looked into, but doesn't seem to be profitable. You're doing the thing that I do off camera where I don't know what you're doing and you're waving your arms around.
Tell them to post a picture of their food on the thing when they're done baking.
I just want to verify that I actually have vanilla and not almond extract.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, I did that when I made the sugar cookies on the stream. Okay, so we've got our cream cheese and our butter mixed to an even consistency, and we're just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Like I've said before, pure vanilla extract is going to be a little bit better in flavor, but imitation vanilla will work. No worries. It's cheaper. You get a lot more of it for the price. And honestly, you're not going to really notice the difference. Di, you never use the paddle-y thing? Do you always use the whisk? And what do you do if your stuff's thick?
I stand here, my head's like almost all the way out of frame.
Yes.
Marie, if it's blurry, maybe try refreshing the page. I don't know what's going on there. Hello, Catherine from Fremont, California. That's a good idea, Sam. If the recipes look yummy, buy what you need the next day and rewatch the video. I'm going to try to go at a slow enough pace that you guys can measure out with me. I'm not going to have stuff pre-measured and just dump it in like a cooking show and pull a fully baked one out from under the counter. I want you to be able to follow along and do what I'm doing. So, it's still a little bit lumpy, but it should be fine. Once we get the cream cheese in there, I mean, the powdered sugar in there, it'll become more of a frosting. Well, Uncle Yukon, I disagree. Pre-made snacks, cakes, pies are better. Buy, open, eat, saves time. It does save time, but they don't taste better all the time. Drea, thank you for the super chat with the little emu. Glad you're here to join us. Appreciate you. Oh, Cyber Husky, I have the same problem. Too much to eat for just two of us. Blake's here half the time, so I usually try to bake something when he's going to be here so he can help us to consume it. But we often have more than we can consume, so I'll take it to other people I know. I bring some to my mom a lot. People at work. Hi.
Hi.
think we're good here. It's pretty creamy. Now we are going to add a cup of powdered sugar.
Do you have to have this book, or do you have any of it memorized? Like, if we were on a deserted island with only a baking aisle, like, that's what happened?
No, you know what? And when we watch Big Brother, I always think about that. Like, could I memorize a recipe so that I could go in there and be like, look at what I can make, guys?
I
don't have any of my recipes memorized.
You can tattoo it on your stomach.
There you go.
Like that one
Brilliant.
TV show. And then you won't forget it.
That is brilliant.
But you have to tattoo it backwards, so when you look in the mirror, you can see it.
You think I'm going to stand in front of a mirror and
Well, you
bake?
can't look down at it unless you get it tattooed upside down.
There you go, because it's for me.
You should get it tattooed in the shape of the crawl from Star Wars. That'd be rad.
Depends on which direction it goes. I need it to make me look thinner.
I think I'm going to buy you that for Christmas.
A tattoo on my stomach?
Yeah, but like...
You'll wake up on Christmas morning and it'll just be there.
It'll be there, yeah. You
Right.
think I'll sleep through that?
Right, but if it's a present, so it has to be what I want it to be. So that's what's...
No. I think you have to have consent. Like, the tattoo artist has to have consent to give a tattoo.
It's okay, not the black market ones.
Megan says, Dan, color your hair silver. I am. It's called age. It's a slow one. I'm looking to see if we missed the super chat. I don't think so. You got the one from Jared, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Pumpkin roll. Adrian says, pumpkin roll. My grandma has a great recipe that I make every year for Crimble.
What's Crimble?
Oh, it's Jimmy Crimble? you don't know him?
That's different. Amanda says she bought the paddle attachment with the scraper for tonight. That's awesome. I love the paddle attachment with the scraper, and I will go to that before I go to the regular one. The other one works just fine, but I prefer this one. It doesn't always scrape everything off, but it definitely helps.
What do you do about the rim of stuff right there?
I'll scrape it with my rubber spatula. Don't worry, I kind of know what I'm doing. So we added a cup of powdered sugar. We already added the teaspoon of vanilla, and then you just want to mix it till it starts to look like a frosting. It might still have a little bit of chunks from the cream cheese. Unless you liquefy the cream cheese, I feel like you're always going to have a little bit of chunks, and I don't really like to liquefy it. You don't notice it once it's inside the pumpkin roll. It goes away. Super chat from Jess. I should have hired Crystal to make the dog's cake that took me like 17 hours. Yeah, you should have. Oh, Foxy Koala, I agree. I would rather eat a lemon meringue pie than pumpkin pie as well. Lemon meringue's good. I haven't made one of those in years. Like, a lot of years. So I'm just scraping everything off the bottom. I do have some cream cheese still towards the bottom.
So just with the super mega chat, I should have hired Crystal to make the dogs. Oh shoot!
You don't even listen to me, do you?
Look, I don't know what my job is to do.
I knew she said that. I'm not really paying attention.
I feel like I've been fired, but I still get to hang around.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you have a job at Chili's and you get off work and you just go sit at the bar and drink with your friends while they work. That's how I kind of feel here. Yeah, I just hang out. So I don't know. I won't read anything anymore.
No, you can read stuff if you keep up on it, but you have to pay attention.
That that million subscriber cake was out of control. It was like 3 trips to the store. It was super last minute callers, a handful of meltdowns, and. It looked good, though. I thought it looked really good. I love the million balloon thing. You're probably still lightheaded from blowing up balloons.
Super chat from Jordan with the Inu saying, how's it going? What's up, Jordan? How's it going? Thanks for watching.
But that cake was awesome. I don't know how long it survived for because I didn't see the finished video. I only saw the chunk from last night, but I'm sure it was awesome.
Brittany asks, if you made a cat-friendly cake, do you think the cats would eat it, or are they picky? So I looked up a bunch of cat recipes, and they all seem to call for tuna.
Well,
I don't want to put tuna in my oven. Then my house would smell like tuna.
I'll tell you what, Mouse and I just got down on some flaming hot Cheetos. So
yeah. To answer the other half of her question, no, they are not terribly picky. Some of them. Most of them will come over and at least check out what you have. Rizzo always wants to see what you have, almost never wants a bite. Mooch, as his name implies, will mooch any bite of anything you have. Topo's pretty much the same way, too.
Except for hot sauce.
Hot sauce. He will visibly gag at hot sauce. Ooh, Megan, pistachio pie sounds really good. I make pistachio muffins that are really good. I like to have those for breakfast. I haven't had a pistachio pie yet, though. Helen with the super chat. Hey, Dan and Crystal. What's up, Helen? Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Do you ever make just straight up bread? I don't like to work with yeast, but a friend of mine, I guess a couple years ago, wanted to make some bread. So I told him, come over, let's make some bread. We made really good bread. It was made in the Dutch oven, and we made jalapeno cheese bread, and then Blake didn't want the jalapeno, so we just made plain old cheese bread, and it was really good. I was really happy with it. So it's definitely something I will revisit. I don't know if we could do that on a stream. I guess if I found a different recipe, but the recipe that I like to use was you have to make it the night before, let the bread proof overnight, and then bake it the next day. Another super chat here from Brittany. Thank you, Brittany, with the email with the hearts. What else is going on in the chat, Dan?
People want to know what we're doing for Thanksgiving. Hanging out here.
Yeah.
Have you ever baked papaya pie?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what is that? Mouse equals a real life Garfield. Mouse is out of control.
A little bit.
Mouse is a bully.
But he's so cute.
Alright, so I don't know how well you can see the consistency there. It does still have some lumps, so if you're baking along and you see a little bit of lumps of cream cheese, don't sweat it. No big deal. But it is very liquidy. It's good and spreadable, but when you roll the bread, it's going to squish out the sides. So I do want it just a little bit more firm than that. Jordan with the super chat. Hi, Blake. Your fan club is here. Are you eating the sandwich on camera while your fan club watches?
I'm eating it in the background with my head out of frame because...
Are you watching to make sure your head is out of frame?
No, but like if you look at my head, it's just like out of frame because it's meant for a short crystal.
Cyber Husky says, hubby always leaves the house when I make liver treats for the dogs. Yeah, I just don't know. And the cats like people food. Like, they're just garbage cans. Alright, so I'm just transferring this into a smaller bowl because I'm going to need to use this for the bread. And this is going to need to go in the refrigerator for a little bit. I don't think we're going to put it in there too long. I just don't want to leave it out while I make the bread because then it'll be too soft and mushy. What's up, Morgan, with the super chat? Hey guys, woohoo to getting baked. LOL. My food is going to have to be baked. It's getting baked.
I'd like the yummy garlic bread from Olive Garden. That sounds so good right now.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Alright, so if you're baking along, hopefully that was enough time to put your cream cheese frosting stuff in a bowl, pop it into the fridge.
Can I touch it?
Please don't. Oh.
Oh.
I'm just gonna hover it over the top. I have two sets of bowls and one has lids and they're almost the right size for the other set of bowls, but not quite.
That didn't work out well.
Well, no, it did not.
Can I get rid of this?
No, because I need to make the other half of things.
Ooh.
Stop trying to clean.
Will Crystal be doing more baking videos for YouTube? Just this for now. This is our project for now. But maybe next time? Or like maybe next time. Maybe like in the future when we're cut the live streams down, we'll do like videos. But for now, it's just fun live stream time.
No worries, Amanda. Take your time. I'm going to clean out my bowl real quick. You want to kill some time here?
Okay, we'll kill some time. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan. And I think I have a different scene over here to it. Oh, it's way far. It's way far away.
It's like a bread.
It sucks to be on this end because I know that like when this is done, I'm gonna want some. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, if you're baking along, here's the crappy part. This has to go in the fridge overnight before you can cut it.
Yeah.
You could eat some tonight, but it might kind of fall apart a little bit. We're gonna want to wrap it in foil or saran wrap or something and throw it in the fridge. I don't think I put that part in the ingredients list. You do need some foil or saran wrap.
No, it's
yeah. Sometimes I'll get the cast-off pieces if there's like a broken chunk or you messed up or something gets stuck. Then I can get the broken stuff. Or when we do layer cakes, you have to cut that top off to like make it smooth sometimes. And then I get to come up on it. So, yes. I like Dan's hair. Dan's hair is wicked. It's fun. I feel refreshed.
Your curls are starting to fall.
Oh, at least.
But
it's
in a
out
good
of,
way. It's holding its curl.
At least it's out of my face.
Wow.
Yes.
Super chat from Christina. Miss you guys. We miss you too. We also hope that we can hang out again soon. We had a lot of fun when you guys came out.
Morgan says I'm looking rough. Probably. But I had my hair in hot rollers earlier. I'm supposed to be looking good. What are you guys making? Pumpkin roll. Pumpkin roll.
If you don't know what that is, it's basically a bread rolled up with a frosting inside of it, which you can also make with all kinds of different breads and fillings. But this time we're making pumpkin bread with a cream cheese frosting. I don't mind killing some time. Amanda, let me know whenever you are ready and we can move on to the next step. I don't want to get ahead and have you flailing to try to catch up.
Oh, look, there's some cinnamon. Let's do the cinnamon challenge.
Let's not. You
Let's
did
do
that
it.
before and you made a huge mess in my kitchen.
Right.
I like the idea. Let's do a
Bad
ginger
idea.
challenge instead.
Brittany with the super chat. Time to get baked while watching the live. I think you got the sentence backwards. Time to watch the live getting baked with Crystal. So how many cats are hanging around the outside porch, Dan? One for the Tyson's for sure right out that back door.
Like right now?
No, Dan. No cinnamon challenge.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate you. The kitchen's white now. Can you imagine how bad that would be?
I remember the one time I did it here. Then I did it outside at the print shop the one time. Or
Yeah,
the-
outside is probably a better idea.
I've done it like three times. Yes.
What's Blake eating?
I'm eating bugles right now.
Bugles. Blake loves nacho cheese bugles.
Bugles are the worst.
Yes, Melissa, that's what it's called. It's a cake
What is
roll.
wrong with you?
This particular one is a pumpkin cake roll, but yes, it's a cake roll that you can make with any kind of cake.
Well, let's stay
Like a Swiss roll, yes,
over here
Jordan.
looking rugged. So what happened to my curls? What's going on with my hair?
It's still curly. They're bouncy. They're really bouncy.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm just happy to have it. I'm just happy to have it out of my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fall anytime soon. It's gonna hold that curl. Hot rollers really hold the curl.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so what do you usually do in the meantime when this is happening?
When what's happening?
When you have to wait for stuff. And what are we waiting for?
Amanda said to hold on a second. I
Oh,
know she's
okay.
baking along with us, so
Right,
we're just
right,
trying
right.
to kill a few minutes.
Okay,
It shouldn't
right,
be a
right.
big deal. It's only 6:30. We've got
Okay.
time. It only cooks in the oven for 15 minutes. Amanda and anybody else who's baking along with us, if you don't already, you should have a clean towel. I don't think I put that in the... I'm really gonna have to make sure I'm on
No,
this.
it's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's pumpkin roll. Is
Oh yeah, don't forget your towel!
Is that what it is?
Yes, you have to have a clean towel because we roll the pumpkin roll in a towel to keep that shape, and then we just leave it for a few minutes and unroll it and put the filling on it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But yeah, you just have to have a clean towel handy. That you're gonna get really, really messy, just so you know. So don't use your best towel. PJ with the super chat.
What's up, PJ?
Thanks for liking and subscribing. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you. Baking with Crystal. Hey fan, listening. Going to get gas and drive to Claire. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, and thanks for joining.
PJ's
Appreciate it.
always on the move.
All right, Amanda is ready for
All right.
us. Okay, first step, as you guys know if you've watched before, I don't crack my eggs in my mixer. I crack them separately.
He's just watching you.
So we're going to put 3 eggs in here and mix them for 5 minutes.
You gotta stand for your treats, bro.
That one has lots of
He
membrane.
was eating flaming hot Cheetos earlier.
I'm sure the membranes
You
are
down
fine
for
to
'em?
eat. I am grossed out by it.
Yeah, he was down for him.
Wow.
So I always use my shell and just pick it out. If you don't know, the best way to get bits of shell or anything else out of whatever you cracked your egg into is with the shell itself. Barring that, oh look, I dropped a piece just so I could demonstrate. Barring that, get your fingers wet and dip your fingers in it, and that will help you be able to grab the shell. Otherwise, it just runs away from your fingers.
Can I shove this out of the way?
No, because I'm going to put the eggs in it.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to micromanage?
Mouse is into Blake's bugles, which are gross, but
they are.
it wasn't as impressive as him eating my flaming hot Cheetos.
No?
No, he's down. I think him and I are gonna eat that flaming hot mac later.
Yeah?
Was it freaking out over the spicy of it? Or how much he reacts to
Alright,
mild
so for this
pasta?
part, I use the whisk because we want to fluff up the eggs a little bit better. Sam says you could do the dishes. I like Sam.
Oh, tasking me like I'm the Sims. Hey Blake, what cat does Blake like the most?
Popo.
He's down there. You can't see him. He's
Blake likes whatever the new cat is at the time until that new cat is over him, and then he doesn't like that cat anymore. So until Topo showed up, he didn't like anybody, but before that he liked Rizzo until she stopped cuddling with him.
Rizzo literally laid in my lap every single day. and like laid in my bed every day. But now it's just too good for anybody.
Dang, super mix. It's gonna start splashing out.
It's not. It's only 3 eggs. So 5 minutes for this. So at like 6:35, we should be ready to go.
Right.
Let's see. It would be awesome if Crystal made a cake roll for her, Dan, and Blake as their own dessert. That's what I'm doing? Yeah, we're gonna eat this. We're totally gonna eat this. I usually make it for Thanksgiving, but nobody ever wants to eat dessert after we're done with Thanksgiving, so then it just ends up sitting for several days afterwards. So I'm gonna make it now, and then we can eat it for the next week ahead of time. And I usually end up making a couple of these over the course of like the holiday season. This is so long, and thanks for all the fish. Yes. Foxy Cola with the super chat. Halpia is a coconut milk-based pie. If it tastes like coconut, I probably won't like it. Not a big fan of coconut. Oh, Joe's watching. What's up, Joe? He said, hi, Mr. Mosley.
He messaged me.
You spelled Mosley wrong, sir? That's not how Mosley spelled.
No, he did.
You didn't even notice?
I can't read that well.
Is Dan or Crystal a cat or dog person? Oh, we're cat people. I'm okay with dogs like how I'm okay with kids. Like, they're cool if they're yours and they stay off of me, but I want all the cats. Like, I want them all to be my friends. We have 6 of them plus, 3, 4, 5, who knows how many more outside that we just leave food outside for. I've got at least 8 I feed at work. Yeah, we're definitely cat people.
You're like Octomom.
But with cats?
Right?
I just really like cats, and they're so cute and cuddly.
Oh my gosh. What are you guys getting for Black Friday? Ooh, I need some lights. I want more lighting.
If you don't already, you guys can follow our cat channel. Our cats have an Instagram channel and a YouTube channel. It's RFS Cats on both Instagram and YouTube. We post a picture every single day on Instagram, and sometimes Dan makes videos. Crystal is a very young, crazy cat lady. I am totally a crazy cat lady. I can't help it. I just love the cats. I'm kind of half cat myself. I think Crystal would love my cat, a handicap Manx. She hops. I don't care what your cat is. I love it already. But yeah, a handicap Manx? Absolutely. Got cats for the win, but I will cuddle the puppy too. Puppies are better than big dogs. Like, I like it when my friends get puppies and they're all snuggly and happy and cute and they sleep a lot. Don't really love the puppy breath, but they're okay. It's when they get big and they want to jump on you. It's like when a toddler comes at you and she's like, play with me! And it's too much for me. It's too stimulating. I can't do it. Sam says, I like cats more than dogs. Shh, don't tell my dogs. I won't tell them. My daughter said Crystal is living the life she herself dreams of. Aw, do it! Live the life you dream.
Is that a Giggles cookie at the end?
A Giggles cookie?
Yeah, like those creepy 80s cookies.
It looks like, remember the sponge that was on Shark Tank?
Oh, right.
And now you can find it at Bath & Beyond. You put your fingers in the smiley sponge.
Right.
Time to make an Amazon wish list so people can send you gifts. Maybe. Weren't you working on one? That was for your show, though.
Dan, your hair okay? My hair is more than okay.
Jordan says, wait, you can't handle toddlers, but didn't you get with Dan when Blake was a toddler? Blake was 3. Blake could talk. I changed one diaper, and then we were like, yeah, no more diapers, because I don't do diapers. And I don't deal well with the crying without being able to communicate. So when he'd be like, I don't feel good, I'd be like, all right, is it your stomach? Is it lower? Is it your throat? What are we talking about? I need like, exact instructions. I don't deal with the crying with no... Like, you can't tell me what's going on, and just the tantrums and stuff.
You probably did the same thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to raise me.
You were redheaded. You probably, it was probably even harder for you.
Probably. I need to see my recipe, please. Thank you. All right, so to this, we are going to add... Hopefully your eggs are done. Is everybody ready for me to move on? Is anybody else baking out there besides Amanda? Is it just me and Amanda doing this? I'm trying to go slow so everybody
somebody
can
was
follow
baking for their...
Someone was baking other stuff.
For their garage sale tomorrow.
For the farmer's market.
Oh, oops.
But that was other stuff. I just want to make sure whoever's following along with this can follow along. Mine are pale yellow too, Amanda. If you stir them, I usually take this off and kind of do that. They're darker yellow underneath, just that fluff. You want that bubbly fluff on top. I don't know how well you can see that it's bubbles there, but there's lots of bubbles on top. That's what you're going for. So we are going to add to this a cup of sugar. I sent Dan to the store today to stock up on my baking ingredients because it is almost time for holiday baking. And I'll usually sit down and write down what each recipe calls for as far as how much sugar, how much flour, all the ingredients. And then I have to go and buy enough for all of that. But with everything going on in the world, sometimes ingredients have been a little sparse lately. So I wanted to make sure we had enough for what we need.
We couldn't get flour for months.
Yeah, I could not get flour for literal months until my friend Holly hooked me up with a big old bag of flour. So I don't want to not be able to holiday bake because I can't find an ingredient. So he was at the store and it was there and I made him go stock up and now I have more than will fit in my baking cupboard. Okay, so cup of sugar. And then, what is it? Sugar, pumpkin, and lemon juice. Pumpkin is 2/3. Okay, so cup of sugar into the 3 eggs that have been whisked for 5 minutes. And then we're...
sorry, I'm just trying to like get low enough that I'm in your frame. I'm like 500 feet away now. Hi.
That's where I like ya.
Yeah, I figure since it's your show that the camera should be framed for your height.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Because otherwise I'm like this in the frame.
We need to get you a box because you're like not
box
even
to stand on?
You're like not even at SAG height.
You know, since we got the new counters, they're taller than the old ones.
Oh, it's so much better.
I like it. It's more functional for me. But I notice, like on camera, I feel like I look really short because the counter comes up really high on me. All right, so if you didn't catch it, it's 2/3 cup pumpkin. Whenever you're measuring in a measuring cup, you should always flatten it across the top. That's how they do the measuring bits. When you're doing a liquid, or usually brown sugar will call for packed brown sugar. Not a liquid, but like a more liquidy item, like the pumpkin puree, you want to mash it down in there. When you're doing flour and stuff, you don't really want to mash it. You don't want to pack it in there. You just want to loosely scoop it and then slide it across the top. Rachel asked Morgan if Morgan's hoping if Crystal will send me an Xmas goodie box. Man, I spend so much money on baking and shipping all this stuff. I wish I could send stuff to every single person who watches. Like, I super appreciate everybody's support and would love to reward you. It just gets so expensive. It's like $7 to $10 for each box that I ship, plus the ingredients, which I spend $200 to $300 on every year. So it would cost me quite a bit to do that. All right, so 2/3 cup pumpkin. Are you paying attention to chat
Uncle
here?
Yukon says, send me a piece of that cake from the other weeks. I don't know if there's any left.
Yeah, I think there's like one small slice left.
Right?
And lemon juice. Okay, so let's talk about lemon juice. You can buy the little plastic lemon filled with lemon juice, a little bottle, depending on the brand you get. Works totally fine. I use that in a pinch if there's no good lemons at the store, if they're really expensive and I don't need that much anyway. I usually keep one in the fridge just for emergencies. Dan's got a friend whose family owns a lemon orchard, so often she'll show up with a box of lemons. Obviously, I can't use up a box of lemons, so here's the really cool thing about lemons. You can squeeze all the juice out. So like this recipe, we're only using a teaspoon of lemon juice. There's more than a teaspoon of lemon juice in most lemons. So you can squeeze that all out, throw it in ice cube trays, and put it in your freezer. Freeze it, pop them out, and just put them in a Tupperware. I right now have a big old Tupperware full of lemon ice cubes, just lemon juice. So every time, like when I knew I was baking this, when I took out my cream cheese and my butter to cool to room temperature, I threw an ice cube in here so that I could have some lemon juice with it. Sometimes it'll separate a little bit. Not a big deal. Let me rinse this out. You just kind of stir it back up, and it's lemon juice. Perfectly good. The other thing is the lemon zest, which is, if you haven't done it, it's when you basically just grate off the outside of the lemon. There's all kinds of little tools for it. I bought some fancy tool. It really doesn't work. The best thing I've found is a tiny cheese grater. It makes like really tiny cheese. This works really super well. It's super sturdy that you can push on it really hard when you're grating. So you can grate off the outside of the lemon and freeze the zest as well. I didn't know that till my aunt who made the cookbook told me that, which was a lifesaver because now I always have lemon in there for lemonade and lemon coffee cake and lemon blueberry muffins and all the lemony things that I love to make. So even if you're just buying one lemon, get everything you can out of it. Get that zest off of there before you do anything with it. Cut it in half, squeeze all the juice out of it, and then freeze what you're not using so you have it for next time. It keeps... That's been in there for months. It keeps totally fine. How's getting baked with SpaghettiOs?
Amazing.
What's going on in the chat? Are you paying attention?
No, I was watching you bake.
Oh, you're supposed to pay attention.
Okay. Well, you're scrolling up.
Well, yeah, so you could...
Oh, Patreon idea. Time for an Etsy page. Just saying, for the Patreon idea, I mean, if we can figure out how much it costs to ship it to people, we could probably take
make sure we're covered.
But I'm saying that, like, I don't know when you're going to do it all.
Yeah, I'd have to double... That's the thing. I spend 3 days baking, minimum.
What if it was, like, $20 shipped? Or is that breaking even?
It would... Yeah, that's probably breaking even, because I make about 10 different things. Let me get this going. So that was the 3 eggs. I added a cup of sugar, 2/3 cup pumpkin, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. And then I'm going to mix that up. While I do that, I'm going to grab my frosting out to make sure it doesn't get too cold.
Can we put a scoop of SpaghettiOs in there?
Absolutely not.
They're so good, though.
Why would you think I would let you put a scoop of SpaghettiOs in there? That would never happen.
Out of all the stuff that you bake, where does this rank?
In my eyes or in everybody else's? Because everybody seems to love the pumpkin roll. I told my mom I was making pumpkin roll. She was so excited for it. I know you really like the pumpkin roll. I'm going to give this another minute in there. Well, more than a minute. I'm going to put it back in there for a few because it still seems a little bit thin.
What about ice bath?
I don't need to do that.
But that ice bath was so cool.
It does work, but I'm not trying to hurry up and chill it because I'm still making the cake, so we have plenty of time. So this you just want to mix until it's mixed. I find the KitchenAid mixer, again, it's not perfect. I love it. It works really, really well. Has for a decade. But like the bubbles stay towards the edge and it doesn't always mix perfectly evenly, so I'll usually take that off and just kind of do this by hand and just make sure everything is evenly mixed together. So, like I was saying, the Christmas baking, I make about maybe a dozen different things. Depends on the year and what I have time and energy for, but I make a ton of different things. I make a big list of all the favorites that people like. I try a couple of new things every time, and then I divvy them up so everybody gets a container with like 2 to 5 of each item, depending on how many the recipe makes. But like I said, I spend $200 to $300 on ingredients. That's just to send to like family and friends that over the years I've committed. Like my brother's getting some, Jess gets some, Leslie's family, Morgan and all them, I always send some down to them. So, you know, there's certain people I have to give them to every year. To add on to that, I would have to double what I'm making, double all the recipes. I don't know if I have time for that because I literally spend 3 days.
We can figure it out.
What kind of mixer are you using? This is the KitchenAid mixer. I believe down in the description is a link to the kit that shows everything that I use in my kitchen. I'm still working on building it, but it's got all the basics right now. You can also find it on the Facebook page, Getting Baked with Crystal. It is posted on there as well. If you don't already follow that page, I suggest you go over to Facebook and give me a follow. You can find out what we're making each week. We're going to put some polls up there so you can vote on what we should make next time for future episodes. And if you want to bake along with us, we'll post the ingredients ahead, like at the beginning of the week, so that you have time to get everything you need for the week. All right. Rachel says, I'd like Crystal's baking skills. You can have them. Just start baking. Literally just start. Just make something. If it doesn't turn out good, try something else. If that doesn't turn out good, try something else. There's a ton of recipes I've tried. Like, these recipes are things that people make, and people like things different ways. I've tried a ton of recipes that just don't turn out well. You know how many different chocolate chip cookie recipes I've had before I found the one that I like, that I will use for any base for a cookie with a mix in it? Tons of them. Just try a different recipe. Find something you want to eat and just try making it. It's super, super easy. Let's see. What else is going on? Isn't this the 3rd week for cold SpaghettiOs?
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. This is actually
Welcome to Dan's
SpaghettiO mukbang live stream each week.
That's really all we're doing?
And you can clip them together and form your own live stream of me getting down on these. And then there's a bacon show pattern in between.
Huh. Glad we're here so you have a venue to eat your Mario SpaghettiOs.
Did Jim Johnson say
with your hobo glove?
Yeah, because Jim Johnson said it was like a hobo.
So you had to get your hobo glove?
Yeah.
I don't think we say hobo anymore.
The hobo through the phone.
Okay, Amanda says, I'm all set with everything. Mine's looking fluffier than yours. I hope it's okay. I'm sure it's fine. Don't even worry about it. Don't quote me on this because I am not a professional, but I believe the important part is when you're making any sort of bread or cake and stuff, that you don't want to overmix it once you add the dry ingredients, because I think that's where it gets tough if you overmix that. Right now we're just dealing with liquidy eggs and things. It's fine. I think on camera mine doesn't look as fluffy. Like there's a whole layer of bubbles on top, so I think it's good. I wouldn't sweat it. Okay, so make sure you have a bowl out. We're going to mix all the dry ingredients together before we add the dry ingredients to the wet mix to make sure they incorporate evenly, because you don't want just a blob of cinnamon in there. You want it to incorporate well with your flour and everything else. So we're going to do 3/4 cup flour.
Flour is the stuff that gets pasty when it gets wet, right?
Yes, it is. Brittany wants to know if you got the SpaghettiO out of the vent yet. Let's put this over here. We're done with this. Probably not.
No, but it's hot. I see it down there, and now it looks like a Cheerio.
I see it down there. Like, really?
I mean, it looks like it's way down there. It's like Mission Impossible down there. Like, I need to hang from that thing and go all the way down there. But it looks like a Cheerio, so it's all dried out.
All right, we're adding a teaspoon of baking powder.
What is that for? Making it rise?
Yes. And a teaspoon of cinnamon.
And 1 meatball from the can?
I'm going to use the same measuring cup because I'm going to pour the cinnamon into it. I'm not sticking it in the cinnamon, so it's okay to be a little dirty. You can add a little extra cinnamon if you want. It just adds a little extra flavor. Never hurt anybody. And a teaspoon of ginger. Hang on, my ginger's all like stuck to the sides. Ginger kind of like doesn't really clump, but it like sticks together, so it's a little harder to get out and measured than cinnamon is. I don't think you want to add extra ginger. Maybe if you like that flavor. It's pretty strong though.
Now, Rachel says, which Crystal was the culinary teacher at Shepherd's College? I don't think you. I think you would end up losing it on somebody.
Oh yeah, I could not be a teacher. No, I didn't get out my nutmeg. Hold up.
Nutmeg sounds expensive.
I mean, I don't think it really is. No. Hopefully I have more nutmeg. I do. Apparently I used all my nutmeg and put it away. There's a little sprinkle in there. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Can you grab me the salt? No, not the sprinkled salt. I have to pour it to measure it.
Oh.
Not the cooking salt, the baking salt. Nutmeg is also pretty strong, so I don't like to over measure that either.
I love the things on the top of here.
Yeah?
Yeah, those are my favorite of all the, like, lids.
Sky Dreamer says, I'll take a photo printed out for a food gift. I'll post lots of pictures on the Facebook group. Okay, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Never measure your salt over your ingredients in case it spills, because sometimes that happens. Alright, so then you want to mix that. I'll use Big Whisk for this. So you just want to whisk this together until it looks even and there's no like big brown chunks in there. Where are we at? So just evenly mixed. If you're baking on a budget, the Dollar Tree has a bunch of seasonal baking spices like nutmeg, cloves, and ginger in a regular size container. Yes, they do. And dollar store seasonings are pretty much the same. Unless you're buying some real high-end like Mexican vanilla or something, pretty much anything you're going to find in the dollar store, as long as it's not expired, is equal to the $5 container of stuff. You'll see right now I have organic ground nutmeg. I only have this because I found it on clearance and it was like $1.50 each. I don't buy the $6 jars. No, I was at Walmart and it was on clearance, so I was like, heck yeah, I'm stocking up.
Just check your stuff good at the 99-cent store. It's a fine line between this is a great deal and Weevils.
Yeah, but you're not going to get Weevils usually in a spice. It has too much flavor. The Weevils you're going to get in like flour. I would not get flour and stuff like that there. I don't know about your guys' Walmart, but I won't get any sort of dry goods at Walmart either because we always get Weevils from it every single time. Aldi. We've been going to Aldi lately. They have really good prices on seasonings too. Not quite dollar store cheap, but much cheaper than most grocery stores, so I'd recommend that as well. The dollar store, you can probably get decent baking sheets and stuff. Before I amassed the collection of tools and stuff that I have now, you know, everything you see on that kit, I didn't go out one day and go buy all that and just, you know, dump a bunch of money into it. I've been collecting for a couple of decades. I had dollar store stuff. That was my favorite place to shop when I was like 20, 25. That's where I got everything when I was younger. So absolutely, no shame in buying your stuff at the dollar store. So I'm just going to mix this up one more quick little blend just to make sure everything's blended together really well before I add the dry ingredients. You should just keep whole nutmegs and grind it when you need it. Pretty much lasts forever that way. Oh, that sounds a lot of work. I don't use nutmeg that often. I think I have like 2 or 3 recipes I even use it in. But yeah, I'm sure that's better if you have a patience for it. Absolutely. I have fingernails, so grating things is kind of hard.
Your head's in the way.
Sorry, I have to see what I'm pouring to make sure I don't get it everywhere. You leave my big head out of this.
Godzilla.
Yes, Uncle Yukon, now that I'm 26, I spend more on spices. When were you 25? You're not in your 20s? No, I'm far from my 20s. So again, with the KitchenAid mixer, sometimes you do get the stuff kind of piling up on the sides. No big deal. Just use your rubber spatula or take the mixer off of there and scrape it off the sides.
Spicy Lady. Wasn't that a Jimi Hendrix song?
So.
Spicy.
No, I don't think that's how it went.
Mooch has decided that he wants to take up residence outside the refrigerator.
Yes, he has. Okay, so again, don't overmix this. As soon as it all looks blended well, be done. It's fine. It's going to be pretty liquidy. Probably about the consistency of like a cake mix. Not super thick. That should be good.
Jim says, "Nope to shame at Dollar Tree shopping." We love the. We have a bunch of them out here too, and they're all different. And I like that.
I feel like they used to be way better back in the day, or maybe my taste was better. I used to get all my house decorations and stuff there, but yeah, they always have good stuff, and they have different stuff all the time. You can always find some randomness that you love. Okay, I think I threw away my butter. I don't think I saved. Usually, I'll save the wrapper from the butter. Because some butter sticks to it, so you can use that to wipe it on your pan when you have to butter your pan. What are you doing? Are you housing some stuff?
I'm spilling. I was spilling, but I was trying to get away. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
If it wasn't for the 3 cameras in here. Okay, done with that. So, I like to, grease my pan with butter and flour. You can use whatever you want. Last week we did the parchment paper on the bottom of the pan. You could cut a piece of parchment paper to fit this and just butter the sides so it doesn't stick. This particular one, because we're flipping it out of the pan, you want to make sure you butter it really well. Make sure it does not stick in there at all. You could use shortening. You can probably use cooking spray. I don't particularly love cooking spray because it kind of gets everywhere.
Patty Bueno says, "Crystal's over here making this deliciousness and I make Jell-O. I need to step up my game."
Ain't no shame in the Jell-O.
Dang, what's up, Patty? Patty's been around for a long time.
She has. I always remember that Patty won the contest that you had.
Oh, right. Yes. That was like at 100 subscribers?
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Dang.
She's been around since, like, the start.
Do we have a Dollar General out here?
We do. There's one in Palmdale. We don't have one in Lancaster. I think my work is working on building one, though.
Oh.
Alright, so you want to make sure you get it real good in the corners. You don't want it to stick in those corners. So a good solid layer all the way around the sides of the pan and the bottom of the pan.
How come butter and not like shortening?
Do you listen to me?
No.
Dan clearly does not watch my show.
No, I'm reading the chat. No, I can barely juggle one ball.
You can use shortening if you want. I like butter. I don't care if it's a little more fattening. It adds good flavor.
Is shortening less fattening?
I think so. I don't know. It's not flavorful. So then I just sprinkle flour on there. And then just kind of shake it, tap the sides so it coats the whole thing. I like to do this over the sink because it's going to get messy. I'm going to add a little bit more. So I'm going to come over here. And you want to make sure you tilt the pan to the sides so you're coating the sides as well. That flour helps it not to stick, not just the butter. And go around all 4 sides. Make sure it's good and coated with flour and butter. If you screw up with the butter and you see that you missed a spot and the flour's not sticking to it, put some more butter on there, put some more flour on there. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first try. You can fix it. Alright, so now that we've done that, it's going to be time to dump the pumpkin bread mix in the pan.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're so easy.
I'm so excited.
Alright, again, if you don't have one, get a rubber spatula. It's the best tool to have in your kitchen. It helps you scrape everything off of the sides really well so you're not wasting any of your batter. Really liquidy, so it'll even itself out, but just kind of dump it down the middle. Kind of fill it in.
It doesn't make any noise.
It doesn't. You want to make some noise?
Swoosh.
Is that the noise you think it should be making?
Spill.
Spill, huh?
Spill.
Not quite onomatopoeia, but I'll take it.
I use Baker Joy spray when I bake because it has flour in it. Is that like the?
Oh, nice.
Is that like the can? That's like the can spray stuff.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I never got to use those. Like I see people that put like Pam and stuff in their like pans. Shouldn't it be called pan? It's kind of confusing to give me the pan for the pan.
All right,
but
so
I've never used
again,
it.
it's pretty liquidy. You just want to spread it. Make sure you don't scrape the bottom because you'll scrape that butter and flour layer off. But just kind of do this. You can kind of tap it like that, and it'll go to the edges more. I'm impatient, so I like to push it a little bit. Just make sure you get a nice even layer here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is a bread. It will rise up a little bit. Any imperfections will go away. Once you have this flat, this is the part where you can add whatever you want onto this layer. I've seen recipes that have nuts and raisins and I don't know what else on a pumpkin one, but whatever you want. I don't like raisins and I don't like nuts in my pumpkin roll, so I just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. But you can always put whatever you feel like having on there. If you like raisins, throw a layer of raisins in there. Once you roll it up, it'll be inside of it.
Can you do this on parchment paper?
Yes, you can cut a piece of parchment paper to fit the bottom. I'm just not sure how well it would stay up on the sides, but I guess once you put the batter in there, it'll hold it in place. So yeah, you could do that. I would recommend probably like what we did last time when we made the cake last week, where you put parchment paper on the bottom and just butter and flour the sides of the pan. But I don't know, try whatever you want, see if it works. I just prefer to use the butter and flour. That's my personal preference. Alright, so that's pretty well spread. Our oven should be well preheated by now to 350. And like I said, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. Is that the noise this makes? My cinnamon's almost empty. You could add a little more ginger or nutmeg if you wanted to. Honestly, whatever you want at this point. It's going to cook into the bread and roll up inside of it. Dollar General is definitely inferior to Dollar Tree. Yeah, Dollar General is just like a grocery store that sometimes has good deals. Dollar Tree's dollar stuff. All right, this goes into the oven for 15 minutes, 350. And I should probably grab the frosting out. While I have the fridge open. That giant layer cake we made last week, this is literally all that is left of it. Just one pretty good sized slice. That's it. We've all eaten the heck out of it.
Are you done with your mixer now?
Yeah, I'm done with my mixer now. You're very concerned about that.
Yeah, I just want it out of my frame.
Is that all?
It's very pretty. I was gonna move it for you.
You're not allowed to touch
Dang,
it.
you don't need it, man.
Not to touch my mixer. You can also get a lot of those kitchen essentials at the Dollar Tree. Yes, absolutely. Rubber spatulas. You can probably get cookie sheets, measuring cups, measuring spoons. Yeah, you could stock an entire kitchen with the basics at the dollar store for sure. Especially if you have a couple of different, we have 99 cents only, we have Dollar Tree. There's another one too. I don't remember what the third one is out here, but we have 3 different dollar stores. All right, so that's pretty good with the frosting. I think I'm going to leave that out of the fridge so it doesn't get any harder. The name Pam is an acronym for Product of Arthur Meyerhoff. Interesting fun fact. That's one of the creators of the company that makes it.
That's kind of cool.
Interesting.
That's kind of cool that you know that.
Chris, our oven is gas. I don't like electric stove tops, so I stick with gas oven and gas stove, but I don't think it really makes a difference. I just have a preference for the stove top. I don't like it to be electric, so that's what I do.
Oh, man.
What?
I'm out of SpaghettiOs. Stream's over.
Not to shill, but this would go really well with my One Pot Thanksgiving dinner video from yesterday. One Pot Thanksgiving, Cook It and Eat It, episode XLV11. X is 10, L, what's L?
50.
50?
And then V is 5.
Okay, so
7.
the X is before the L, so that would make it 40 and then 7? Is that right? Are we right with that? Was that episode 47? Do you have 47 videos already? If you guys haven't seen it, go check out Jim Johnston Reviews the World on YouTube. Cook It and Eat It. He makes food and eats it. Walmart does also have cheap baking tools, yes. Yeah, you definitely do not have to get high-end tools by far. They're fancy and they look good, but most of my stuff is still pretty low-end. I have a lot of KitchenAid stuff just because, it's KitchenAid, but my set of rubber spatulas that I love the most came from Home Goods for like $5 for a 3-pack. Home Goods has good cheap stuff too, but it's random. Ooh, now we have a Dollar Tree, Dollar General battle.
Ooh, there can only be one. Dang.
Is that the mega long stem cherry? Oh, I don't know. Was it? I didn't even look.
I think so, because I kept on not wanting to eat it, because I'm that
Did
person.
you?
I'm that person that'll go bad before I eat it, just because I'm like, look, it's there, and it's cool. But yes, I cut around that long stem the whole week.
You're funny. But the gas ones can catch the house on fire. Lots of things can catch your house on fire. Get a fire extinguisher to keep under your sink to try to keep yourself safe and hope for the best.
I tried to light my house on fire before.
Yeah? I did light my house on fire once when I was a kid. Well, not my house, my yard. A little bit. Got in trouble. Moving on. We have a Dollar General, maybe Family Dollar. We might have one of those too.
We have a Dollar Tree across the street from the 99-cent store.
Yes. And we have Big Lots out here
which
too.
Which is the
yes.
99-cent store.
Yep. Electric stoves can light the house on fire too. You can get gas electric hybrids. We got a new stove, like 3-4 years ago, maybe a little more, maybe 5 years ago. And I was insistent I wanted a gas stove. I use it the most. I know how a gas stove works. I wanted to stick with what I know and what I like. Hey Crystal, I got the recipe for the pistachio pie. Would you like the recipe? It's super easy to make. Yes, I would, absolutely. Is it made with real pistachios or is it pistachio pudding mix? Because I'd rather it's the pudding mix. I usually don't make things from like mixes and adding pudding mix to stuff, but the muffins that I make, which I actually have some here, you have cat treats on my people treats. I made these, Sunday night? I'll have to make these sometime on the stream. These are my pistachio muffins. Focus.
No, just hold it closer and it'll focus.
They have a little sprinkle of sugar on top, and they're made with a pistachio pudding mix. And they're super soft and moist, especially once you put them in a Tupperware and they're stored for a few days. It gets really moist and soft and delicious. I highly recommend these as well. We'll make those sometime on the stream. My apartment has an old stove, doesn't even have a preheat function. Oh, that's awful. Before we got this stove, I saved. Like, this was a tax return purchase of, like, I need to get a new stove. Because one night, Blake and I put a pizza in there, and we came back, like, 25 minutes later, and we opened it up ready for pizza, and it was barely cooked. It maybe got to, like, 100 degrees. And it would do that off and on, and finally I was just like, okay, tax return comes, we're getting a new stove, because I need to be able to bake. The other one was pretty sad. I tried electric, and I feel like they take a long time to heat water to boil. I had a boyfriend years and years and years and years ago, long before Dan, and at his house they had an electric stove, and I feel like I never knew what to expect, and it was kind of an older one, but it never cooked consistently, it didn't heat up right, it drove me nuts. I like a flame. I wanted the double oven stove, and Jamie talked me out of it. The next one will have the double oven. I would love a double oven. If you have more than one thing to make and you put them in the oven together, they don't cook evenly or correctly. You cannot put two things in the oven at the same time and have good results on both of them. You made those Sunday and still have that many left? Yeah, the boys didn't really eat any. I take them for breakfast at work and munch on those at my desk, but yeah, there's still a half a dozen of them left. Are you feeding cats behind me? I forgot to add extra cinnamon on top. Don't even worry about it. You know what you can do? Before you put the frosting on, you can put some cinnamon on it, or there's cinnamon in it already. You don't even have to. It's no big deal. It doesn't make a darn bit of difference. It's still going to taste good, I promise you. Don't even worry about it. I want a wood cook stove. That sounds like a lot of work.
Right? Wood cook stove and an axe.
Right?
That's it. Just those two things. Oh, my hair's still curly. It looks like potpourri.
Like potpourri? It's still separated where I separated like each chunk for the roller. Wow, your hair curls differently than mine.
Maybe I was born with it.
Yeah. Interesting. The look on Dan's face when Crystal started talking about an ex.
I don't think I had a look. I should next time.
I mean, I never even kissed a boy before I met Dan.
I should just stare blindly at the camera.
My mom had this old school double oven exactly like the one on the TV show Bewitched. Oh, is it that awesome one that like looks like it's super old? Our friend's mom has one of those. Nanda's mom. Remember in their kitchen? Do you remember the really old stove?
Those double ones.
Super awesome. I would love that for like nostalgia's sake, and like I love how they look. If it would be functional, I don't want it to be all old and sad.
Those are cool though, and I see the purpose of it now, especially for like Thanksgiving time when you want to cook like a meat for a gajillion hours, and then when you pull it out, you gotta like wait a long time while you put all the other stuff in there.
Yes, and even then, there's like 2 or 3 other things that still have to go in the oven, and you have to juggle that. All right, I'm gonna clean up some of this stuff.
Okay.
I have too much butter.
Dan's hair looks like Kenny Omega from AEW. Oh, I should grow it out so it looks more like. That looks good. I like it. It's happy. Unload the dishwasher while we are baking. Unloading the dishwasher while we are baking.
Smart.
Right. Usually afterwards we just double team it. Where can I send the recipes? I think on Crystal's Getting Baked with Crystal's Facebook page. You can send it there.
That will come directly to me.
You just post it there and it'll go to her. Yes.
Oh. Does anybody have any ideas for what to do with this? I got this at Aldi, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. They show it on, it looks like they have cream cheese and avocado on toast. I'm not sure that I want to eat that, but what can I do with everything bagel seasoning besides put it on a bagel?
Right. Well, Jeff said, but your bird has to rest as long as it's roasted. Right, I guess so. I'm not good at that. It's like a crash landing every time I cook. Even though I do it every year, every time I cook, it's a crash landing every time.
That's okay. Every year I can't find my recipe for sweet potatoes. every year, and I'm scrambling. Is this the one? And I like to put pineapples in it, and I can never find a recipe with pineapples in it.
Use it as pasta season. Hard-boiled eggs.
Ooh, that would be good on pasta.
Yeah. I was gonna go to this side, but I feel like I'm just in your way. Are you gonna clean this table again? I can tell that you are.
No, because it's not that bad, and I need to put a towel down anyway. So if you got the small can, the 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree stuff, that's totally enough to make 2 pumpkin rolls. So throw this in some Tupperware, and in a week or 2 you can make some more. Put it in the fridge. Did you hook up the oven? Jim Johnson says, I use it as a topper on Asian recipes. Ooh, that would be good. Jeff has to make the turkey this year. I never had before, only chickens. Oh man, it's daunting. It's very daunting. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I'm going to put this back in the fridge because I think it's warm in here with the oven on and it's getting kind of watery.
I have questions for you.
Dan's video, the one year he tried to make the turkey and he went and found some YouTube video of some girl that put paprika on it. So he covered the entire turkey with paprika, like a thick layer, so it was all red. I made him wash it off and start over.
Yeah, that was a blunder. Oopsie.
I made him.
Oopsie.
He was convinced. Oh, that's what she said to do. It was like some Cajun recipe or something. I said, taste paprika. Do you know what it tastes like? And he put some on his hand and he licked it. He was done. He did not want any more of that. What are your questions?
My questions are, first, are you doing this next Friday, which would be Black Friday, which would be the day after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Do you have an idea of what you're doing next week?
I don't. I really don't. Maybe I'll put up a poll and see what you guys want me to make.
Okay.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought. This week was a really busy week. I had a lot of tasks going on, and every single night I got home from work, and it was just go, 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 go until bedtime. So I didn't really have a lot of time to stop and think about that.
Okay.
So I'll figure it out. I'll put something up on the Facebook page. If you guys want some input, go follow Getting Baked with Crystal on Facebook, and I'll figure out how to put a poll up there, and you guys can vote, and we'll see what we make.
So, next question. Let's have Thanksgiving talk. What are you doing for your sides, and what are you the most excited about?
Oh, I'm always excited for sweet potatoes.
Right.
Because I make them once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we're like, we should make these like throughout the year. They're really good, and we never do.
We never do.
I don't know how you guys like them. I like it as a mushed casserole. I throw it in the KitchenAid mixer with the paddle and make it like mashed potato consistency. Throw it in a pan, cook it for a little bit, and then put marshmallows on. Oh, I put pineapple in it too. Crushed pineapple inside of it and whatever other seasonings and stuff. I never remember because I can't find my recipe. And then I coat marshmallows with melted butter and cinnamon and I think brown sugar, maybe? And I put that on top and throw it back in the oven until it gets all crispy. But usually it's not crispy. It's just melty, gooey. I don't care. It's marshmallows
and
good. Yams, and it's delicious
good.
and tastes like dessert. Blake hates it. Blake absolutely does not like it. My mom doesn't eat it. Only you and I eat it.
Yeah, it's like free dessert.
Yeah,
because it doesn't count towards dessert.
Yeah, it's a vegetable, right?
Oh, deviled eggs. Oh, no.
Do you think you guys will have snow on Thanksgiving again? I don't think so. It's looking like it's going to be clear, not even that cold. It's supposed to be 72 this weekend, so I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah. That'd be cool if it did. Remember, it delayed it last year for a day?
Yeah, my mom didn't come over. My mom does not drive in the snow, so she didn't come over till the next day. We just had Thanksgiving the next day.
It's far away, and it tore up our roads.
Yeah.
Our roads are really bad right now.
Our roads filled with potholes after that. We are not used to having snow. We had it twice last year.
I know, right?
You can absolutely cover your turkey in paprika, says Jordan. Oh, the chat moved. But Dan, you used way too much. I'll teach you how to properly season your food with paprika.
I just gave up on it.
A little bit would have been fine. He covered the whole thing with it.
Right.
It was way too much.
I gave up on it.
Baked Alaska for Black Friday. I've never made one of those. I think, after doing the cake last week, which is something I'd never made before and wasn't familiar with the flow of how it was going to go, I think I do want to stick with things that I know how to make for now and just I know how long it's going to take to cook it and what to expect, and I have tips for you guys versus just kind of flailing through a new recipe, which can be fun. But I think for starting out, I want to kind of get a flow to the show and show you guys the things that I love to make that you guys have probably watched me make for years in the vlogs. And, I want to try that, I want the recipe. Here you go. This is how you get the recipe. Watch Getting Baked with Crystal every Friday at 6 o'clock, and I will show you all my favorite recipes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not even that cold, 72.
It's
It's kind of cold. It gets colder at night.
It's 58 right now.
Yeah, it's 58.
But it was in the 70s.
I gotta put on a jacket if I want to go outside. Dan was so excited for the snow last year. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It's been a long time since we had that much snow on the ground that was more than just a sprinkle through the grass. There was a lot. Oh, what else is going on? Can you do the biscotti for one video? Jordan with the super chat. Absolutely, I will do the biscotti. I know you guys want the biscotti. I actually have 2 recipes from my aunt. If you bought my aunt's cookbook from her Etsy shop, there's a recipe in there for the classic biscotti, which has almond extract. So it's got an almondy extract flavor. And there's a recipe for a chocolate biscotti, and they're both really good. So yeah, absolutely at some point I will do biscotti.
We should do that in December.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's a good holiday one. I think so.
Yeah, it's good with like tea and coffee and cocoa and stuff.
I don't know what it's going to be on Thanksgiving here. I don't know. Every day is exactly the same.
Alright, so 15 minutes should be good. If it still feels a little bit squishy, then leave it in there a little bit longer. You have to kind of be the judge of that. You just don't want it to be raw.
Right.
I was feeling.
Do you know Terry's Etsy shop name? I think they're all gone. Are all of them? Are all the books gone?
I think she might have had more. It was. I will pull it up for you. Hold on just a second.
So this is out of the oven, all good to go?
Yeah, we want to let this cool for just a couple of minutes before we flip it onto the towel. You don't want to let this completely cool because we need to roll it up. If it's completely cool and you try to roll it, it's just going to crack apart. It needs to be soft enough still that it's going to mold to the shape of rolling, if that makes sense. So I'm going to look up Aunt Terry's Etsy shop real quick, and then once I do that, we will probably be ready to pop this out. Okay, do you want to type it in the... Oh, I guess I can do it.
Okay, yeah. If you want it spelled right. I'll come
Yeah.
over here. Ow! Oh! Oh!
Yeah, that's hot. It just came out of the oven.
Oh, it bit me! Oh! Oh no!
Am I typing?
Yeah, you're typing. Simply yes. Yes, you're typing.
Okay, there's the name of her Etsy shop. She should still have some cookbooks on there, I believe. Highly recommended if you want to grab one. And she makes necklaces, maybe other jewelry. I know she makes necklaces. I've talked about it before. Her necklaces are magnetic clasps, but they're super strong and they hold really well, so they're easy to put on and they're going to hold on really well and not just fall off of you. But yeah, absolutely grab one of her cookbooks for the Italian family recipes that have been handed down generation to generation. She learned them from her grandma. My mom wasn't really too big on the family recipes, so I didn't learn a lot of those from her. Jeanette says, if not, I'll look at Sandy's and Jason's. Absolutely. Just run off some copies of it.
Have to send photos.
Yeah, have them take a photo and text that over to you. Dan got burned. We knew it.
I did.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. You know what? You were waiting all night for that. You've been waiting all night for that, and it happened. Wow.
Amanda says she needs a few more minutes in the oven. No worries. I can't wait too long because, like I said, we don't want it to cool. But, yeah, oven temperatures can vary. You set yours to 350. I set mine to 350. One of them might not be 350, so it might take a little bit. You just want to make sure that it's not quite... I guess it's kind of cakey. It's going to spring up a little bit when you push your finger into it. Kind of retain its shape. You definitely don't want it liquidy at all. It needs to be fully cooked. Angela says, so Blake says your mac and cheese is 5 Blakes out of 5. Technically, many people bake their mac and cheese, so if that could be considered baking with Crystal, that might be cool. Different than dessert. Absolutely, I do make a baked mac and cheese. Lately, I've been kind of over the recipe that I have. It's good, but I've eaten it for as long as I can remember, and I want to try a different one, but I do make a baked mac and cheese. Did you read that one?
Oh, where?
From Mouse Queen?
No,
What's up, Mouse
I was
Queen?
waiting for you because you were typing.
I always look forward to my grandmother's pumpkin bread around this time of year. Do y'all have a recipe of your own for that? I don't. As I said earlier in the show, I'm not really a huge fan of pumpkin bread. The pumpkin roll I like because the filling kind of neutralizes that pumpkin flavor. You know, at some point I can probably just start doing random recipes. There's no reason I can't. Right now I want to work through the recipes that I've made for years that I like and show you guys the things I like to make. But yeah, I could absolutely do that down the road. I don't know if I said Funny Cat was lucky enough to get her hands on one of the cookbooks. Thank you. I appreciate that. I talked to Aunt Terry after we did the first baking show, And I was like, hey, I promoted your cookbook, hope you sold a couple. And she's like, oh my gosh, I was wondering why I sold 3 of them in an hour. So thank you guys, I appreciate that. She made those years ago for the family and had extras that, more than the family purchased. So she put them in her Etsy shop. Are you good?
I'm good.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Oh man, they were before the show started. They were talking about how many times I was gonna get burned. I'm like, haha, you fools! Today it's 0.
Did I not just pull a towel out of
and
here?
I sure enough, I got burned. Kathy said, I have my 7th grade pumpkin bread recipe. Dang.
Oh, nice.
Are you okay, Dan? Oh yeah, I'm fine.
It's not the first time.
Right.
Mouse Queen with the super chat. Oh shoot, I was kind of late to the party. My bad. Glad to catch you when I did. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it.
We have banana bread.
I use Bob Dylan's mom's recipe, actually. I have not actually been able to verify that it's his mom's recipe, but
it hasn't been denied.
Exactly.
It hasn't
but
been
like
denied.
20 years ago when I found it on the internet, it said it was Bob Dylan's mom's recipe, so I'm like, I'm going to try this. All right, so Amanda, I might be a little bit ahead of you, but I don't know how much longer I can wait because this is still warm but cooling. So watch and follow along.
Which way
as
is
you
it
can.
going? Is it going up?
It's going to roll this way. So if your towel has a tag, make sure the tag is at the far end. You want it on the end that's going to be rolled from, to not have any tags that are going to get stuck in your bread at all. What is your problem?
I'm just trying to feel. I want to be able to have everybody be able to see what's happening.
All right, if you remember in the beginning, I told you this was going to get a little bit messy. I was not kidding. So in order for the pumpkin bread not to stick to the towel, you've got to cover the towel in powdered sugar. And when I say cover, I mean cover. Better too much than not enough. You do not want your pumpkin roll to be ruined by a towel. Mouse with another super chat. Nanner bread is tasty. It is. I used to make it like every other week, and I just kind of got burnt out on it, so I haven't made it in quite a while. But yes, it is absolutely delicious. So the end that you're going to start rolling from, you want your powdered sugar to go all the way to that end. This is going to get messy. You're going to get powdered sugar on you, on the floor. It's going to get messy. Just go with it. And you want to powdered sugar as big as your pan is, because your whole bread is going to be on it. There might be a less messy way to do this, but I don't know nothing about that. I am not afraid to be a little bit messy. A little bit further here.
That's a pretty good amount on there. Like, it's soaked in there.
Yes. Yeah, but if it's not, you don't want it like to stack up on there in piles. So once I've got it like spread on there evenly, I kind of do this so the piles go to the end. But it'll soak in, it's powdered sugar, it's sweet, it's gonna soak into your bread, and it's only gonna add flavor. It's not a big deal at all. You could probably also add cinnamon here, Amanda, if you wanted to, and it would just mix with the powdered sugar. And you might see it a little bit on the outside, but if you want to get that extra cinnamon flavor, you could probably add it here just fine. Later, you can eat the towel. You could just suck on it. I usually put the towel in the sink and wash all the powdered sugar off of it, and it's a really gross, sticky mess in the sink for a while, but I would not throw it in the washing machine like this. All right, that should be big enough. And then just to make sure that it doesn't stick, I usually take a knife and just go around the edge of it a little bit. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes it doesn't come out of the pan cleanly. That's just what happens. Super chat from Mouse pointing out the obvious point I'm trying to make here. As Mrs. Frizzle once said, take risks, make mistakes, and get messy. We got messy. I might make a mistake. There's a good chance when I dump this out of here, it's not going to come out smoothly. I feel like I did a good job with my powdered or my butter and flour, but sometimes it just sticks.
Mrs. Frizzle, who's that?
You know who that is.
No way, I'm a Doubtfire.
That's
I get all my baking
different.
tips from the Doubtfires.
Oh yeah? You just like the run by fruiting. It does feel like it's sticking a little bit. Alright, here goes nothing. So you want to try to line up the edge of your pan with the edge of... Wait, just inside the edge, because you want this to flap over the edge of your pumpkin roll. Did you see the poof come out?
Yeah.
This is where you cross your fingers.
Oh, my poor mouse.
And it did not come out. Well, shoot. Oh, it totally stuck. No rhyme or reason. I make this all the time. I did all the same things. I used the exact same pan. For some reason, this time it stuck.
You know what you need to use?
Tell me.
The force.
If I had it, I would use it right now. So I'm just prying the knife under it and kind of trying to peel it up. Once it starts to come up, the weight of the bread itself will kind of peel it off. I'm just hoping it peels it smoothly. There's really no reason it should have done this. I might have left it a little bit too long in the pan to cool.
Now what are you doing?
I'm trying to gently peel it off and hoping it does not stick. It's coming out. So, you can't see it, but the weight of the bread, it's slowly pulling off. I guess you can kind of see from the side now, yeah. So I don't want to lift it too high because I don't want to tear the bread. Sometimes I flip the pan over and it pops right out, no problems. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes it doesn't want to come out at all and it's just a mess and then we just have a blob of pumpkin bread and I can't frost it. It definitely does feel a little bit too cool, so... Oh, good. Amanda, I'm glad you have it out and rolled because I was going to say if you're still waiting, you should probably get on that because I might have left it in the pan too much while I was yapping. Okay. Good enough. It'll all be pretty when it's done, I promise. So you're going to roll it up. This is going to be the inside. So this side does not even have to look that good. You already rolled it. You should have put some powdered sugar on this side because it might stick to your towel. If you can, you might want to unroll it while it's still a little bit warm and throw some powdered sugar on this side just to make sure that it does not stick.
That's a lot.
It is, but it'll all soak in. I never said my recipes were healthy. Okay, so then, again, you want to roll this while it's warm. If it's not warm, it's going to crack when you do this, but since it's warm, it's just going to take the shape of what you roll it into, and then it sits like that for just a few minutes. We're going to unroll it, frost it, and re-roll it. So again, you don't want it to be cooled completely. We just leave it like that enough so it can kind of retain that shape. I just wanted to clean up the excess powdered sugar. It's not healthy baking with Crystal, right? If you want healthy foods, you're going to have to watch somebody else. I make stuff that tastes good. It's not going to be good for you.
What about Guy Fiery?
Oh, I hate it. So while we wait for that, you were asking about what my sides were going to be. We talked about the yams. Oh, Mouse Queen with the super chat. Dan, the detention slips are piling up. LOL, hush.
That's true.
She got your number. In addition to that, I'm going to try something that we've been doing lately. We've been going to Aldi, and they have cheap, really good zucchini. So we've been slicing the zucchini and breading them and baking them in the oven for like 25 minutes. We're going to do that. Usually we just do like corn or green beans. I don't like green bean casserole. Sorry, guys, it kind of looks like vomit. Can't do it. So I wanted something a little bit different. So that has like Italian seasonings on it and cheese and stuff. So we're going to try that. What else are we doing? Cranberry sauce. We like the one, this might be controversial. One year, I think when we had all your family here and stuff, we made the cranberries where you dump the bag of cranberries in a pan and you pour a cup of sugar in there and you cook it down and it's all like jelly. Don't like it. I like my cranberry sauce to be that gelatinous shape of the can where you take the top off and slide the knife around the edge and just go. That's the cranberry sauce I like.
It's all about that noise.
Oh yeah, I love it.
How many minutes do we have of this?
Like maybe 5?
Oh, okay.
Not too long. I can see your cat. Which one? I don't know which ones. They're all gone now. Oh, here comes Mooch behind the camera, behind the monitors. Hi. Do you want to see what's going on? Mooch just wants to be closer. Mouse Queen with the super chat. Ooh, fried zucchini. I remember when we did that when I had to read the book Zucchini Sticks. I never heard of that book. I loved when you were in school, though, and they would make you cook food or make something in class. We read James and the Giant Peach and made a peach cobbler. We did a report in, like, maybe 4th or 5th grade where you had to pick a country and make some food from that country. That was back when I still ate meat, so I did Poland and made Polska kielbasa. Anything where you have to cook. Blake had a Spanish class. We made flan for his Spanish class. I supervised, but I made Blake make flan. He liked it, but we never made it again after that. Jim Johnston. She said vomit, and Mooch looked up at her inquisitively. Yeah, you want to know if I was talking about him. Uncle Yukon. Jellied cranberry sauce? Me too. Not so much the whole berries. Yeah, I use the whole berries when I bake. I have a few recipes I've used with that. But I don't just want a pile of whole berries on my plate. It's not good. I don't like it. Cyber Husky, not a fan of green bean casserole either. Yeah, I know it's like a traditional thing, but it just looks gross to me. It's like, my dad used to eat creamed corn when I was a kid. Again, why would you do that? I guess you don't have to chew, so that's great, but no, not a fan. Flan is disgusting, says Adrian. It had good flavor. I think I didn't really like the texture of it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Remember stone soup? I don't remember stone soup. Patty Bueno said she made stone soup, though.
Is that like brick sandwich?
I don't know what that is. Adrian says fried okra. Opinions? Never had it.
I had it at Jess's place. It's okay. Oh, no, she sent it to us, didn't she?
Not fried.
I had okra
Pickled.
chips, and I don't recall if I had it in a liquid or not, but I think I was good with it. I think I was okay with it.
Okay, so Amanda and anyone else baking along, if this feels pretty cool to the touch, not completely cool, but cool, you want to unroll it, because again, we would need to re-roll it, and we want to make sure that we do that before it cools completely.
Mooch is looking pretty good. Mooch is definitely on a comeback.
Oh yeah, Mooch is all back to normal again.
Yeah, he's still a little sucked up, but he's on the comeback for sure.
Yeah, he hasn't fully recovered weight-wise, but he's working on it, don't you worry. Alright, again, rubber spatula is going to be your best friend for this. I had to buy a whole other pack of rubber spatulas because I use like 5 or 6 all the time. I use them throughout the week in the mornings when I make a smoothie, and then when I bake, I mean, this is like the 3rd one I've had already, so you should definitely get like 3 or 4 of them if you're going to bake with any sort of regularity, if you don't want to just keep washing the same one. So, you're going to spread it from one end to the other, but you don't want to go all the way to the end, at the far end, because when you roll it, it's going to squish a little bit, and it'll all squish out the end, which is okay, because then you got like a little bit of frosting, pudding type stuff that you can eat. But if you want to keep it nice and clean, you want to be a little bit careful about that. So this just goes on here, and you want to spread it evenly. You can go all the way to the end on this side. And it might look a little bit sloppy tonight. It's not going to be perfect when you first make it. Once you roll it up, wrap it up, throw it in the fridge, by the time you unwrap it tomorrow, it'll be perfect because it'll set. And once you cut a slice, it's going to look good. Don't sweat it if it doesn't look great right now. And it's going to be kind of a thin layer, but remember, once you roll it up, you're going to have layer after layer on the inside. Mouse Queen with the super chat. Dude, fried okra done right is heckin' tasty. Okra's not really a thing, like, in our diets at all. I don't even know what an okra looks like. I'm not that kind of vegetarian.
It looks like an asparagus, but fatter.
Oh, well, that's probably why I don't eat it. I don't like asparagus.
Helen says, I would love to come over to the U.S. to have a Thanksgiving dinner. Here in Australia, we don't go all out and cook like you over in America.
Yeah, it's a big thing out here. This is hard because I can't go over there. I'm trying to get it over to this end. You also want to make sure you're not putting it too thick at the ends, because then it'll definitely squish out. So I always go just a little bit thinner at the ends. Basically all around the edges a little bit thinner, because it will squish as you roll it. One more super chat from Mouse. Such a southerner. Yeah, I think that's more of a southern, maybe like Midwest type thing. Y'all eat a lot of vegetables out there. We're not really... Look, it's California. We're like avocado on toast and... What is it? Acai in our
fruits
smoothies.
And nuts.
Fruits and nuts. Twigs and berries. Are you your camera in over there so I can...
I'm cameraed over here, and with my right hand, I'm trying to fight off Mooch, who's trying really hard to get over here. So sorry for the bad camera work. I can't tell if I'm even like in frame or not.
Yeah, you're good.
But I'm trying to fight Mooch right here.
I'm used to being able to move around my kitchen freely, and I can't, and I'm having trouble getting to this corner. I would really love to have a kitchen island that was the right size that I could walk around it while I'm baking.
Just make it out of pie. Like, just make it out of cake. Just overcook it.
Make a kitchen island out of cake?
Yeah, or just get all those FedEx boxes like people make furniture out of.
I probably could. I think if I made it out of cake, the cats would just stand there and lick it all the time. Alright, so relatively evenly spread, but if it's not perfect, don't even worry about it. You will not notice at all once it's rolled and cooled and set and everything. But I usually just kind of go over it like this and make sure it's as even as I can get it. Get the excess off the spatula. Would you like to taste it?
Okay. That's really good. It is correct.
Is it correct? Good night, Drea. Thanks for joining us. You could probably also put some nuts, berries, raisins, cinnamon here, whatever you wanted to do. You could totally put stuff in here. And then you basically just roll it up. So the first roll, you want to go kind of thick. You don't want it to be really tight because you want to have that layer of frosting there. And it is starting to crack a little, but that'll be on the inside. You don't even have to worry about that at all. Don't squish it too tight because it will all squish out. Again, once it sets, it's going to be fine. It'll all fill in the bits and everything, totally fine. So roll it all the way to the end.
This is how it should look.
Yes. Yeah, it's fine, because once you wrap it and you cool it, it's got that sugar on it. It's all going to come out looking real pretty the next day.
Even though it looks like a rolled up carpet from a gym?
Yes, I promise tomorrow it's going to look better. So I wrap mine in foil. You could do, my recipe actually says to wrap it in saran wrap. Saran wrap is really hard to work with and it wants to stick to itself and all of that. Foil's so much easier. So usually what I do, you got that camera work?
Mm-hmm.
I take 2 good-sized pieces of foil next to each other. Jordan, from the words of Dan, how long before I can put it in my mouth? Tomorrow.
Right.
This is one of those overnight things.
That's what I was saying.
If you slice it right now, it's just going to be a mess. I don't advise it. So, you take it and very gently pick it up and plop it down. If something squishes out the ends, just wipe it off. I think we're good here. Put my shirt on it.
Which way are we wrapping it? Length?
I'm going to wrap it this way. I guess I can do this way first so everybody can see.
Dan will get up in the middle of the night and sample it? No way.
Sometimes he does. Alright, so again, just loosely roll it. Don't worry about it being perfect. It's all going to be held in here.
Do you twist it like an old Subway sandwich?
I do not. I just kind of fold it over on the ends. Whatever works as long as it's packaged up in there and you don't squeeze it and squish it down. And that's it. It's ready. And then it goes in the fridge for overnight. And then tomorrow, you can slice it and have it for breakfast if you wanted to. We'll probably eat it for dessert tomorrow. Dantix, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, Dantix on this channel. In the after show, we'll slice it and have a piece and show you guys how the inside of it looks and how it turned out. If you eat yours before then or even after then, post a picture on the Facebook group, Getting Baked with Crystal. Amanda, please post a picture. I want to see how it looks, how it turned out, and hear your thoughts on what you think about how it tastes. Let's see. You already read that. Mal's Queen with the super chat. If Dan doesn't get burned again tonight, he just might tomorrow. And I'm not talking about the pumpkin roll. Hashtag got your number. She does have your number. I love it.
Shots fired, and I'm in detention?
If you want it now, put it in the freezer for 2 hours. I have never done that, so I'm not sure how that might affect the texture, but I trust you because I know you cook a lot and bake a lot. My freezer does not have room for anything. There's a turkey in there now with all that other meat that's in there. That's not happening. It's going in the fridge till tomorrow.
I forget when I put stuff in the freezer. Last week on Dantix, I had to like run live on camera to go get my beer out of the freezer because I was like, oops, yes, brilliant marketing. You were right, Jim. I don't know, but that's the only other time we could do it. Dan looks like the pumpkin roll paparazzi. I was trying to get in there with my shots. I was hoping people could see better than just it sitting there. I don't know. You have to let me know.
Wish I lived next door to you, Crystal. I would be mooching all your cooking meals like this one. Oh, I totally share. Like I said, I make way too much stuff for us to eat it. I'm always sharing with anybody and everybody. Pretty much every week I bring my mom a container of something at work. Like, hey, I got some stuff. Or she'll call me, what'd you bake? What are you bringing me this week?
Looks like a giant burrito from the food truck now. Yeah, I want one now. I just peeked out, but the food truck's not there tonight. Weird.
No?
No. Tip your main camera up. Okay.
Your heads are slightly chopped off. I like my head chopped off. Alright, so here's the messy part that you just have to kind of... There's so much, it's on the other side. It's all over the counter. I just throw it in the sink and just rinse it off.
We're done with this counter, yeah?
Yeah, I have to wipe it off, but yeah, we're done cooking.
There we go. It's a kitchen again.
So that's all. You see, that was pretty easy. Amanda, what'd you think? Watch out for that. How would you rate the difficulty level of this? I don't know how often you bake anyway, and if this was something similar to what you would usually make, if it was harder, if it was easier. But what would you rate this? Like, I feel like
how many Amandas out of 5 would you give?
I feel like this is a pretty basic recipe. It's a little tricky to get it out of the pan if you don't grease it all the way or if something randomly goes wrong. But I feel like as long as you follow the directions, that's a pretty easy recipe overall. If you want, I can message you on Facebook and send you a picture of the recipe part so you can save it for later, because I only posted the ingredients part. I don't know if you were taking notes the whole time while we were cooking. Probably not, because we were doing a lot of work.
Eventually, we'll package it up.
Package it up?
Yeah, like all the recipes.
The recipes, yes. I would love to do that and let you guys buy my recipes.
Everybody wants pumpkin roll now.
Yeah.
So do I! What happened to my hair? At first, I thought it was going to be styling with my do, and now I feel like it's like bad. Is it all back to straight again?
No, it's still got some curl. It's bouncy. The hot rollers make you have bouncy hair.
How do I bounce though? Just like, ooh.
Yeah, like that.
Oh.
Jeff says, I've even had some of Crystal's awesome baking. Yeah, way back in the day when we would do baking live streams, I think, was that back in the day when we would bake with Jason?
It was a handful. It was like...
And like both of us would be on the camera baking together when Jason first moved out to Chicago area.
Yeah.
And we would bake with
it was
him.
At least 5 years ago.
It was well over. It was probably 10 years ago.
No, not quite.
Jason's been out there for 10 years.
Not quite. It's it's in my vlogs. It's like 5-6 years old.
All right.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we did a contest thing. I don't know if the YouTube rules allow us to do that anymore, but we did a contest of like, anybody who's watching, we're gonna enter your name and pick one of the names out, and you get a package sent to you. And Jeff was the winner, and Jeff got to have some of my bakables. There's powdered sugar everywhere.
There is. I feel like I'm ice skating a little bit. The hot glue slipped on a little bit. It was all curly earlier, and then now I look like Ellen.
Jordan says, I haven't baked in a long time. I didn't bake tonight because I don't like pumpkin, but that was pretty easy to follow. Yeah, I think it was a pretty easy recipe. We started at 6 o'clock, so right now we're at about an hour, 40 minutes by the time we finished it. But I was sitting here yapping and kind of making sure I went slow enough that Amanda and anybody else baking along with us could follow along.
Right.
I think this one's one you could easily knock out in like an hour. Oh my god, it's like
What about the parchment paper? I've seen that said a couple times. What about parchment paper on there instead?
Didn't we talk about this like 3 times?
Right, yeah, but see, now we're talking about it again because people are asking.
Okay, yeah, you could totally use parchment paper. I am new to using parchment paper, and yes, I bet that would absolutely help with the sticking because it would come out. I used that last week for the cake, and it came out perfectly. It popped right out. So next time I make this, I think I will try using the parchment paper on the bottom. I think that would make a big difference. Can we bring back you and Jason baking together? I wish that we could, but I don't know if Jason has time. He's got a very busy job. He organizes snow removal in an area where it snows a lot. So if it's snowing, we don't see Jason. He posted something on social media the other day about like getting ready for the snow, and my response was see you in the spring, because that's how it goes. In addition to that, he has a 2-year-old and a wife, and a house he's got to maintain. I don't know that he has the same kind of time he had before he owned a house and a child and had such a demanding job. So yeah, I don't know that would work. I'll talk to him about it for sure and see if that's something he'd want to do, but I don't know if he would have the time for that at all.
Is this video going to stay on this channel so I can follow along later? Yes, unless Jess says no. But yes.
Unless Jess says no. Unless Rules Lawyer says no.
Crystal, you are my food twin. Dang, there's somebody that looks like you but in food?
Weird. I'm sitting down for a few minutes, says Amanda. The powdered sugar cleanup is making me crazy to clean up. Yeah, I noticed, I haven't made it since we had new counters, and it feels really like it stayed on the counters more. That's why I was kind of wetting the towel and trying to play with it.
Feels good to me.
Oh, gross. But it was easy. I'm a pretty intermediate baker, and it was good and easy to make. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit more difficult than beginner, although I wouldn't be too daunted by it if you've never baked before. Give it a shot. Why not? You can totally do it. It's really not that hard. I would love the instructions on how to make it. For sure. I will take a picture out of my recipe book, and I will send that over to you. Does Dan sacrifice a homemade dinner for the baking show? I'm not real big on making dinner. I don't like to cook as much as I like to bake. There's certain things I like to cook, but I like baking. I'm never like, I want to try this new food recipe. No, I want to try a new dessert recipe.
We just planned it out, like, hey, we're gonna be live from here to here, or do whatever you want. Like,
yeah, we'll make sure to eat beforehand or whatever.
Blake wasn't hungry, and I'm not gonna make him wait, so I told him I'm just gonna make food. I had a sandwich and then some SpaghettiOs, so I'm good.
Megan said she messaged me on Facebook. I hope that's okay. Absolutely. I hope you messaged the Getting Baked with Crystal. If not, if you found my personal one, I really don't add many people on Facebook. I mostly use that for family. That's where most of my family goes, so I kind of keep that family. If you guys want to follow what I do, I've been trying to post more pictures because I don't really do a whole lot on Instagram, but I do have Crystal Lee on Instagram. It's all lowercase, KRISTUL _LEE if you want to follow me on Instagram. Let's see, what else? Oh, Jess says this will stay up since it's a regular thing. And Abby says we like and dislike the same things food-wise. And Jim says, shame on Jason for having responsibilities. I know, right? What the heck? Why? You gotta have a kid so we can't do anything for a bunch of years? All responsible raising a child. Jess says, I bet I could screw it up. I'm pretty good at screwing up baking things. Oh, you just need to practice more.
Did you see her cake from the video she posted today on her $1 million
I was at work all day,
celebration?
So no, I did not have time to
watch
that yet.
So good. It had the little gold play button on the top, and she had a million balloon? Not a million balloons, but a million balloon.
A balloon that said a million balloons? Wait, what?
It didn't say the word balloon, but it said a million on it.
Gotcha.
And she handmade those collars.
Handmade?
Yep. In the US of A.
Jordan says, I know this is Getting Baked with Crystal, but can we get your falafel recipe one day? First, I do bake my falafel. Second, it's from a mix. Adrian actually sent me a recipe I do want to try, but I had a bunch of mixes in the cupboard still, so we had that the other night and got through all that. So soon I will try the recipe that Adrian sent me and try to make it from scratch, because I don't think it's that hard to make from scratch, but I just always made it from a mix, so that's always what I've used. So there's no secret. I honestly just buy a mix and add water to it and stir it up and make it little discs and bake it anyway.
Hi, Dan with the super chat. Is there ever going to be a time that on this baking show that you cook something that we can actually eat inside the show?
You had sugar cookies inside the show.
Right.
And Carmelitas? Cookies. Cookies are the thing that I can make that you can have right away. Muffins. One thing I'm probably going to put in the poll because I would like to make them soon is lemon blueberry muffins with an oatmeal topping. That you could eat right away. Most of my muffins you can eat right away.
That would be good. So since we can't do the polls on here because I can't get it right, we know how to do polls on your page.
On Facebook?
Will we poll right after this? We'll start a poll for a day or two to see what we're doing next week?
I don't know if I'll do it right after this because I got to do some figuring out what options I want to make. But before the weekend is over, I will have a poll up on Getting Baked with Crystal. I believe that Jess posted the link up a little ways if you scroll up in the chat, so you can follow along there and check out what the poll is going to be and vote, and I will take your votes into consideration and make what you guys want to see. I have a ton of recipes. I have a whole recipe book. I have the one from Aunt Terry. I have lots of things that I know you guys want to see, so I'll throw some things up there and see what you guys want to do. Most people are either a baker or a cook. That's why Chris and I are a good team. He loves to cook and I love to bake. That's perfect. I wish you cooked more and better. You're getting better with the Instant Pot.
I cook all the time.
You cook meat things. That doesn't help me at all. Why don't you find some awesome vegetarian recipe with tofu or something and whip it up for me? I bake you all these treats for a decade and a half plus. When did you make me a vegetarian?
Where's this coming from?
I've been holding it in all this time.
Instant Pot, make that potato soup for her. We have a line of potato soup recipes.
We do. So many people have sent potato soup recipes. I have to get through them.
But I definitely do want to do some sort of potato soup.
Mouse with the super chat. She got 1 million subscribers. Air horns.
I can hear the air horn.
Just tells Jim. Oh, because Jim said I couldn't believe the dogs each got a whole one. Jess said that's why I made the small cakes. Her original plan was for a full-size cake and let them both go at it.
She wanted to make sure that they could have their cakes. I like the small cakes. I think the small cakes are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah says her mom made homemade falafel this week and they liked it. That's awesome. I've never made it homemade, but I want to try it.
Jess is really pushing for her potato soup.
She really is. She was like the first one to send me that, and I was looking at it this week, and then we did the math and just realized there wasn't really time to do that with the other things we had planned for dinner,
we ate that
live streaming and stuff.
That pizza.
Yeah.
Set everything off, and then then we did mac and cheese last night. Oh my gosh! Did you guys watch that mac and cheese video?
I did not try any of it.
That was interesting color the next day.
Just says to skip all those other recipes and do only the one I sent you. Corey even called me and asked for it. And yeah, Jordan sent me one that she modified to be vegetarian for me.
Mouse Queen with the super chat. Dan, don't turn this into Family Feud. I'm no Richard Dawson. Dang, throwing it back. Speaking of that, have you seen Drew Carey? He looks like Baron Munchausen. Like, he's got his big old beard thing with the...
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to Google...
He grew a quarantine mustache.
He looks like the new Santa Claus.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
I watched it. Ton out. Hopefully Memphis Akira will not get sick after eating those cakes. Hey, they're iron stomachs from what I ever seen.
Jordan said she got the jalapeno mac and cheese. It definitely had a kick to it. I could smell it. I didn't taste any of them.
It's good.
Not a real big box mac and cheese fan. Like twice a year I'll taste it when they make it. But not really a fan. It smelled like spicy jalapeno.
Jess says she's making her potato soup tomorrow. Maybe I should film it and revive Snow Dog's cookie.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should.
You've totally got extra time for that, right?
You should, though. It's warm under the lights. So we'll go to the top of the hour and we'll be done. We'll actually get out of here like at
8.
At 8 o'clock.
That was what I thought with this because I've made this recipe so many times. I knew like it wasn't going to be a long drawn out recipe like the cake was last week.
Right.
Yeah. I got to figure out what to do next week.
Mouse Queen says, last I saw Drew Carey, he was super thin, which was crazy. He is, but now he's got this big Dave Letterman beard going on.
Oh, beard too?
Oh, yeah, you'll have to Google it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you'll have to Google it.
I don't know where my phone went. Jeff says, love you guys. We love you. We super appreciate all the years that you've watched us and supported us. You are awesome. Thank you. And all of you guys, everybody who's supported us, weeks, months, years, I don't care. We super appreciate it. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is something I wanted to do for a while. Dan talked about... Well, I guess we talked about it together, doing a pre-recorded show, but I like this flow better where I can talk to you guys. Otherwise, it just feels, for me at least, really sterile of just like staring at the camera, and then we add this, and I don't feel like I have the personality for that. So I was just hesitating. We even recorded some stuff a couple of times, and it just never saw the light of day because I just wasn't confident in what I was doing.
We made a podcast a couple years ago. No, maybe even a year ago. And
that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did episodes of that never saw it. We
there
throw
was like
stuff
2 or
at the
3
fan.
episodes of that. We have lots of projects. Oh, wow.
There's Drew Carey.
That's like almost unrecognizable.
I can't even show anybody anymore. You have to Google it. Yes. I definitely enjoy the live chatting. Yeah, we get, it's nice to hang out with you guys too. Especially like, thanks for choosing us when there's new episodes of The Mandalorian, which I am all caught up on, Jess. I don't know if you are. And then you choose to watch us, so thank you. Yes.
Freedom Deep loves the Flamin' Hot Stuff. Was hoping that version of mac and cheese would be a winner. That wasn't your favorite, was it?
What's that?
The Flamin' Hot mac and cheese?
No, it was that jalapeno one. And the plain one was so boring, like bad. The only one thing I regretted, it was not mixing them all together for some super mega mac.
Yeah, you should have done that.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about it until I watched somebody else do it. Because I won't watch any of the reviews of what I'm gonna do until after I review it.
Right, so you don't get influenced?
Yeah.
Like how you don't watch the movie after you read the book until you're done with the book and the report you have to write on it?
Sure.
You never read a book.
But when I watched it, I think somebody mixed them all together. It was bad. Yes.
I don't know how we're pronouncing that. Cellist is baking cookies right now. That's awesome.
Celeste?
What kind of cookies are you making? But it's an I at the end. So I
How
don't think
about
it's
C-list?
C-list.
I know. On the other side,
I love baking and getting to watch others do it too. Yeah, we watch a lot of people bake too, and we sit like working on stuff in the evenings and stuff, sitting on the couch. We'll put on Twitch channels and stuff and watch people bake stuff. You know what drives me nuts? The girls that are baking and they have this long hair and it's just hanging down. That's why this is a thing. Because your hair has to be in a ponytail or pulled back. If you have long hair or live with someone, it doesn't even have to be that long. My hair's not that long. Dan's hair is not that long. Hair gets everywhere. If you're cooking or baking, you need to put your hair up. I don't know what these girls are thinking. They're just trying to be cute with their little beanies on and their hair hanging down low.
Whoa. Reel it back in. Reel it back in.
I'm just saying, put your hair in a ponytail. Nobody wants to eat your hair.
Having a new kitchen helps.
Yes, having a new kitchen
Just as here's
does help a lot.
pictures.
Oh, wow.
Look at the cake, though.
Oh, you did a great job. That looks amazing. That's really good. What kind of frosting is that? Did you fondant it?
It was part fondant and tears.
And tears?
And tears.
And
17
tears.
hours of tears. I don't know, whatever the dog fondant, or whatever the dog dent is, or whatever it is. I'm not sure.
Gotta stop with the super chats now, says Mouse, but LOL, wow, wild, how many personalities have changed? I don't remember what we were talking about. I scrolled up for that comment. Sarah's making a lemon supreme pie. What's lemon supreme pie? And yes, we wish you luck with that. I would like to see how that turns out.
Maybe it's
Call
a
into
bigger...
the show tomorrow and let us know how that turns out.
Maybe it's a bigger lemon pie.
It's supreme. Megan would rather watch this than TV. Oh, thanks. We appreciate that.
Thanks,
I think
Megan.
this is fun because it's interactive. You can talk to us and we react to you. Your TV shows don't do
We
that.
react to you.
Right? You make us laugh. Vegan chocolate chip cookies is what she's making.
That sounds fun.
And she agrees you have to put your hair up when you're in the kitchen. Yes, absolutely. Final super chat from Mouse Queen. Yeah, crazy how some personalities from our childhood have changed
Drew
so much.
yeah, because
Oh, yes, absolutely.
we would watch Drew on the Drew Carey Show, which was good.
Yeah.
With him and Craig Ferguson.
And he was like thick and like kind of dopey, and then he lost a bunch of weight and he had the thick black glasses.
He got such the right job. He got that job that job's gonna be his forever.
Oh, absolutely, for
That-
sure.
that was a good
he
one.
does well at it.
Yep. He got himself a nice retirement job. And thank you so much for the super chats. All of you, thank you so much.
How many pet cats do you both have? We have 6 cats that live in the house. We have Tails, Mooch, Kamiko, Rizzo, Kitty, and the cat whose name is still under debate. Blake and I call him Topo, which is Italian for mouse, because Dan named him Mouse and we don't like that name. So if you hear us say Mouse or Topo, that's the same cat. And then we have some cats that live outside. We got some outdoor cameras, and we see that there's cats out there, so then we put a little food out there, and then more and more cats come, because that's how cats work. So there's at least 3 cats outside that have shown up for food.
Dan with the super chat. When are we getting a Christmas tree? So before we get out of here, because we're ending the
Wait, I want to know what the lemon super pie is. She says it's a lemon pie with a cream cheese layer on the bottom and a lemon curd type layer on the top. It's my boyfriend's favorite and his birthday on Sunday. That sounds delicious. That sounds really amazing. I really want to know how that turns out.
Yeah, if it was really cold, I'd be happy. Like, if the pie was really cold, I'd be happy with
Yeah,
it.
that sounds awesome. I love lemon anything. Din Dog suggests a fake tree. We had a fake tree for years, and the cats would climb in it all the time, and they bent all the fake branches down. And so eventually we had to get rid of it, and so the next year we got a real tree, and the cats didn't climb in the real tree. So we don't get a fake tree anymore.
I hate fake everythings.
Yeah, Dan really loves Christmas, and it's really important to have a Christmas tree for him. So we do get a tree every year so Dan can have one, and I spend the next 3 months cleaning up pine needles. Although you're working from home now, so it might be your job to clean up all the pine needles.
I'll water it every day, just like I do our
You
yard.
don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I think we only have to get it like a week, maybe 2 at most, because it's so dry out here. If we get it too early, it's dry and dead by Christmas, and all the needles fall
I'm
off.
gonna get it by the first week of the December episodes of Dantix, whenever that is.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, we're gonna go the whole month in Dantix with it. You're not home for all those hours anyway. So before we get out of here, we'll post some pictures. We'll take some pictures or make a little video. We'll throw it up on your Facebook page for what we're doing on Thanksgiving, like making your Thanksgiving stuff.
Yes.
And then we can gonna be back here live Friday. So after you guys do your Black Friday shopping, air quotes, and you guys don't get your PS5s, you can come back and hang out with us next Friday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and go follow Getting Baked with Crystal on Facebook so you can have a say in what we make next week, because I have no idea what we're making yet. I'll give you some choices and you can let me know what you think.
Amanda says, we just got a fake tree. Take it back. It's not too late to take it back. It's not. Angela says, we sent you a box of our kitties' old costumes. Oh my gosh, some cat
awesome.
toys.
I am super excited for that.
A trivia card deck for holiday trivia. Oh, it went back up again. Should arrive by Monday, I hope.
Awesome. Thank you. Much
you,
appreciated.
Thank you so much. I went to the P.O. box today, but there was nothing in it today. So it's been taking a little longer to get stuff.
Yeah, mail's still kind of on a slow roll.
Right. Jess says she does a fake tree as well because they like to leave it up super long. The one thing I do like about Jess's tree is it's rad. It's all full of LEDs because I'm an LED fan. But, I can't leave it up more than... I'm hoping... what I hope happens is I'm hoping I can just put... a couple things around it, and I want the cats to be able to use it. I want them to scratch on it. I want them to climb up in it. I don't really need ornaments. If we can just put the ribbon around there that doesn't get hurt, a topper, and I can light it from the outside on it, and I want the cats to go in it and hang out. And remember Mooch would climb up it?
Yeah, when we had the fake one and he would lay inside of it and break it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, I would love that. I would love just for the cats to want to climb into the tree. I hope Mouse goes in it all the time. I would love it.
No.
I would love it. Mouse Queen with the super chat, real actual final super chat. Take care, guys. Thank you
said
for
that
the
3
support.
times.
Thanks.
But yes, thank you. We do
you.
appreciate it all the time when you support us. You are awesome.
Yes.
PJ with another super chat. Well, where'd it go? I'd rather watch you. Don't let me get stuck in another season of American Horror Story. Oh my god, that's the best show ever.
Who said that?
Ever. I love that show. That's one of the few shows that I have rewatched seasons multiple times. I really love pretty much every season except for Roanoke. That season.
I love Horror Story, PJ. Brittany says mine had built-in lights too. See, I don't want the cat to chew on them.
Right.
But I do want the cats to be able to use the tree. I think that would be fun for me, and I want something on the set of Dantics.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Helen with the super chat. Your Christmas tree is not going to last with Topo, I think. Yeah, I agree. I'm interested to see what he has going on. He's going to go a little bit nuts.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for him to go nuts in the tree. I'm okay with that. We don't put up any of the breakables.
I mean, to be fair, you'll be here so you can make sure he doesn't knock it down.
I'll be here to record it.
To record it, thanks.
Yes.
Amanda says they normally get a real tree, but wants to get their tree up next weekend. The real tree won't last a month here. Yeah, your weather's even hotter than ours and drier than ours, so you get it.
Is that it?
Which
Did you read it all?
Yeah.
All right. You want to wrap it up then?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. This video will stay up, so if you want to make this recipe for Thanksgiving or anytime, the ingredients list is on Getting Baked with Crystal on Facebook. And you know what? I'll post a picture of the recipe, like the order of the instructions, in the comments under the ingredients. So that way, if you guys do want to make it, you can check it out there and make it pretty easy. Tastes super good. 1 can makes 2 of them. I don't know. I highly recommend it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you guys all so much for your support and super chats and just being here. Really, really appreciate it.
Yep. And we'll be back tomorrow night for Dantics.
Yeah.
Same time?
6 o'clock.
All right.
Same channel.
Now you have to stare awkwardly.